In the news this morning,
50.
I feel it in my chest. Yo, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is 950 ET Radio's PRG Podcast. We're here. It's your boy Freddie Veloy.
Yeah, it's your boy King Olajuwon.
V Sky, what's good?
We got a special guest in the building today.
Yes, sir.
Introduce yourself, sir.
Oh, I'm Travon the creator.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We got a trainer in the building.
Yeah. We got a trainer in the building today.
Yeah.
As well as amongst other things, you know what I'm saying, that he does. But, you know, it's the new year. Obviously, as y'all see the decorations.
Time out, though. Did you hit record on it?
Yeah, it's been
okay.
recorded.
Okay,
It's
good,
been
cool.
recorded. Yeah.
So if you don't notice decorations here, everybody got them New Year's resolution.
Yeah, of course.
And so
well, most people's New Year's resolution is usually to, you know what I'm
lose
saying?
some weight, you know what I'm
Lose
saying?
some weight, get in shape, get fit, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So we brought somebody in who does that and has been doing that for, I know him personally, he's been doing it for a long time, at least 8 years, I know that much, you know what I'm saying?
Say, since 2011.
Yeah, you've been going in for a while. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Since
I can
like
hear you on there,
2011, yeah. So,
At least,
yeah.
right? 2011, so it's about 7 going on 8 years at least that he's
8
been
years,
doing this.
solid.
So, you know, it's good to bring him in and people can, you know, maybe get some good pointers and good. I know I need some because my ass trying to lose some weight, bro. Real talk.
I've been on a roller coaster. I go from one extreme to the other my whole life. I've been like that since I was like a teenager.
I've done that a few times too.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah, man.
I went up like when I was like 15 years old. I was like 216, and then I dropped down all the way down.
15 years old, you were 216?
Yeah,
That's big,
and then I dropped down all the way down to like 150, 159. And that's when I had all the. And
That's
that,
pretty small.
I was always known as the fat kid. So when the girls
Yeah.
started getting on me, I wasn't comfortable with that shit. I was like, "Yo, is this?" It was weird.
Who
It was-
sent you?
yeah, it was just funny, but yeah. And then when after college, that's when I gained all the weight back.
Yeah.
And then after that, as years go on, 100
You
pounds
lost
later.
a lot of weight now. 'cause
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
first moved down here back down here from Jersey, you was a lot bigger.
I
than
was
you are
big.
now, yeah.
She actually showed me a video for my birthday from May of last year, and I look crazy,
Yeah,
son.
no, I got a picture
Like-
that we took at Rev and Amy's. God damn, bro, these things are sticking to me like crazy, though. I can't even move. No, I got a picture though of at Rev and Amy's engagement party when I first moved down. Here.
Yeah.
And bro, I was
It's
like,
weird 'cause-
damn, Fred was way.
Because when you actually that big, you don't see yourself that big until you lose the weight, and then you see the
Yeah.
pictures, you be like, "Damn, I was fat
Oh
as
my
shit."
God. Yes.
That's nothing. Yeah, I'm trying to lose another 40, at least another 40,
Yeah.
45 pounds, man.
yeah, no,
I got
I need to lose about a good 20, 25 at least. You know what I'm saying? For real.
So
for,
that,
the new year.
That freshman 15, that's real.
Yeah, that is real.
What?
Because you got all the cat food. From all
Oh, you
the
talking
cat-
about college? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
You
what
stress-
they say.
Go.
Yeah, you stressed out, and then you just eat, and drinking. Drinking has a lot to do with it too. You drink
That's
a lot
true.
on
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
I looked into that, man, when I had started to try to lose weight, you know what I'm saying? And I was trying to look, I was like, is there anything healthy, so to speak, that you can drink? And biggest thing not to drink is beer, obviously. It's really, really bad for you. But it was saying like wine and certain like vodka. There were certain drinks that if you have a little bit of it, it's actually not bad.
I hear like red
not
wine.
fattening.
Red wine is
wine.
actually good for you once in a while.
Yeah,
It's good
that's
for
what
your
actually
blood.
LeBron James drinks a lot. He
Yeah,
talks
like a
about
glass-
that.
like a glass
yeah.
every night.
Well, you know he's a big ass dude, so
I
he probably
wish.
drinks about a half a bottle. 'Cause that nigga's huge, but.
That Stoudemire, what Stoudemire used to
Yeah.
bathe in it.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
did see that. That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark
back-
started around. A few other people did that too. They take
Bathing,
red wine
red
bath.
wine.
They do.
I've never heard of
bathing.
that.
What's that supposed to do? Something for your
It's a
skin?
healing.
I guess, yeah, it's supposed to be some sort of, I don't know. You know, they come up with something that
Antioxidants,
says
that's
there's
what it
something.
is,
Probably.
antioxidants
He was
and
still
all
coming
that.
up going getting injured, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
man.
It didn't make no damn difference.
Yeah, that's true though. He's always good. But he's still playing right now. He plays in Israel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he plays
probably
in
balling out there, too, boy.
Most likely. You know how that is. They go overseas and go to
That's what Melo's about
Killing.
to head to in a minute.
Nah, don't do mellow like that.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm
Let's
dumb,
not
man.
do that. Let's not do that. But yeah, so you know, we talking about getting in shape and everything. So we got Travon here, man. So, you know, let the people know a little bit about you know, your background. I know that you were doing personal training for a while. Do you still do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay. So I know you were doing that for a while. So just tell the people a little bit about, you know, what got you into it? How did you start in it?
It's a funny story, man, because I got introduced to fitness from being incarcerated.
Mhm.
You know, I went to Lancaster Correctional Institution. It's like what they say, JIT camp.
Yeah, JIT camps, gladiator camps.
Gladiator
Yeah,
school,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
So, you know, I was always getting in trouble. You know, and like punishment there. It's a paramilitary camp. I was always getting in trouble, and they make you wake up at like 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. and do like push-ups, flutter kicks, and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
so they make you do workouts.
They make you work out before anything else. So it's like
early in the morning too.
It's in you. You know what I'm saying? So it's
how long did you have to do that? How long were you in there?
I did 3 years DOC, 2 years probation. So caught 5 altogether.
Right. So, but you did 3 in prison.
3 in prison.
So you had to do that. How often were you doing that?
What do you mean, like?
I'm saying, like waking up. I know you said you had
that was a Monday through Friday thing. It was like,
that was every day.
Yeah, the
That's
COs would act like they were drill instructors. You know?
Right.
So it was like it was supposed to make you feel like you were in the army.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was just gonna say that sounds like military-ish.
That's what I call it.
You're just not getting paid.
Not getting paid for nothing, man. So. You know,
were you doing chain gang work, like side of the road work? You know what I mean, all that type of stuff too.
My custody was a little bit too high. The guys that you see on the side of the road, they got real low custody,
more lower custody, right?
Like,
Less flight risk and all
less
that.
Less flight risk. My custody didn't drop until the last week, so I was like, nah, I'm good on the main unit. You know, I'm chilling, chilling on my bunk. You know, so just chilling.
Right, but okay, so they making you do all this workout in prison. That's crazy. I see. You usually know of people who work out voluntarily because there's nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? Were you doing that as well?
Yeah, I did that in jail, you know, because all the old heads, they were like, man, Jay, you going to jet camp, you're going to have to get swole. You have to get right. As soon as you get there, it's going to be fighting.
For people who don't know, if you're listening from anywhere else, if you're not from Florida, it's a jet camp is known if you go to prison and you're under 24, right? You go to a jet camp.
Under 25, yeah.
Jet camps are usually kids that don't have a long period of time and they're wilding the fuck out. That's where there's a lot of fights, a lot of stabbings. That's why they call it gladiator camp. This is where shit gets real, is at the kid camps. When you go to camps older, like when you go to older prisons, older guys, they don't care about that. They're not really trying to do that. Like that chilling. Myth of dudes who are doing life and don't give a fuck is not true. Man. Dudes who are doing life are fucking chilling. They don't want to bother nobody. At least in Florida, you know. And I've never been to prison, but I'm sure you. That's what I've always heard.
I was on Unit 2 and Unit 3 with like serial killers and rapists and stuff like that.
And they're chilling.
Those guys are just playing chess and watching Days of Our Lives all day. They know, like, bro, I'm finna get the chair, bro. Like, so it's just like, they just try to preach to you all day. Like, yo, if you get 10 years, jump on it, kid. Like, you like 18.
I got life. Yeah. So he says, like, you going to a jet camp or gladiator camp is because you're young, and it's like, all right, you going in there, and it's
wow.
Nah, I've heard some shit, like, first day, like, real movie shit, first day, and it's like, niggas getting beat down off the drill.
Yeah.
Nah.
Dude told me they took his sheets, his pillow blanket, and everything. Like first day, nigga had nothing.
It's an extremely violent place.
Shit, yeah,
it's an extremely violent place, and it scars you mentally.
But it's crazy because you say you started your story by saying that's what got you on your path to doing personal fitness.
That's what made me fall in love with fitness. But what made me want to be a personal trainer was like a couple of weeks before my release. You know, it was my blood friend Tracy Parrish. She was like, "Hey, bro, you know, you like this fitness stuff?" Because in prison, I was writing workout programs for like everybody. Like I was bringing everybody together. Yeah, like on the where we used to work out, like it used to have like Crips, Bloods, Latin Kings, Zoes, everybody working out with me. So
that's
it's
what's
like I would bring everybody together, and it's like people would put that gang stuff to the side to like work out and like chill, and like people were like really like making friends, and like it was like
that's what's
you know, people were like looking at our dorm like, man, y'all friendly over there, y'all friendly, like what's going on over there, y'all friendly. So I'm just like, nah, man, like you don't need to be like that.
Yeah,
you know?
That's
like,
real.
I'm a businessman. You know, I'd rather do business with you than you know, cut you off. So
yeah, definitely.
You know,
that's the way to be.
That's what's up, man.
That's what's up.
But yeah,
man.
Tracy, he put it in my head. He was like, "Hey, bro, you should be a personal trainer when you get out because I see you like this and you got." You know, a passion for it. So I'm like, really, bro? You think I could do this like professionally?
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, bro, you got it. So he put it in my head. So when I got out, I went to DBCC, took the money.
Yeah,
from
I remember
DBCC.
you taking classes and stuff.
I took the money from DBCC and took the online personal trainer stuff because I was on house arrest while I was going to DBCC.
I remember seeing
with
you
the
in there every
monitor.
Tuesday, bro. I remember seeing you there on Tuesdays.
I had the ankle monitor
Community
with the
control
GPS and every Tuesday having to pee and all of that, man.
Trash.
So But you know, my PO, he was cool. Like I was giving him fitness tips. He was
Yeah,
asking me.
that's
Yeah,
what's
that's
up.
why he was like super lenient on me. There was so many times I should have got violated. Like I didn't understand the concept of
I'm
house
trying to
arrest.
get fit.
No, like when I got home, like I used to smoke cigarettes, so I would like I had the GPS on. I would like go to the store to get cigarettes. So it'd be like, Travon.
Yeah, I know you're going to the store. What are you doing right
like,
now?
bro, like I know you're not committing no crimes. You're a good kid. Da 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 da. So you know, like you're supposed to be home. House arrest is house arrest. I'm
Yeah.
like I was just getting some cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like no,
Nah, you gotta
you
step-
can't
you
do
can't do
that, man.
That he was cool, man. Because the next man would have took you
Yo.
so
They'll be
fast.
having
Yo.
that. They'll
Back
be
to
having
prison.
That. Yo, you lucky on that one.
Yo, I was
Wow.
blessed. I was blessed all the way
nah,
around.
definitely
Real
blessed. So I
Officer-
gotta ask.
Officer
So,
Groves, man.
so everybody, obviously, like we said, wants to get fit for the new year, right? So if you had to say which was more important, eating healthy or working out, if you had
Diet.
to choose one, diet is more important.
Diet.
Why do you think
diet,
so?
Because you can't outrun a bad diet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't outrun
Facts.
your fork, man.
You think so?
It's facts.
That I know so, bro.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Well, because I say that only because like there's people out here like I'll use Chad Johnson as an example, Ocho Cinco,
Oh, I was about to
who's
say who's
known
that.
to eat fast food all the time, but he's
But he's,
in shape.
he's maintaining it. But for somebody like myself that wants to lose
But
40,
he just said you can't outrun it. That's my
Mhm.
point. Is I say he's physically fit. He runs a lot. He works out a lot, and that's
Yeah.
what he says. He burns it all off. And that's
Yeah.
what a lot of guys say,
Yeah,
that they can
there's-
eat what they want because they burn it off.
yeah,
So-
they don't understand. Like, the reason for that is because the reason why somebody could just eat whatever versus somebody who can't is he has more lean body mass. He has more muscle, and muscle requires calories. It's like the more muscle you have on you, if you don't eat enough, it'll like start to quote unquote eat the fat, eat the excess calories and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
actually muscle. It costs a lot of calories to have muscle on your frame.
Right. So you just have to eat because you, have
to
that
eat.
amount of muscle.
You have to eat. Like I'm small, I have to eat a lot. You wouldn't believe how much I eat. Like I eat until I pass out every
Yeah.
day, and I still small. You know.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
It takes a lot to have muscle on your frame versus fat. You know. So
yeah, a lot of people don't know, but like it just becomes like a kind of like a cycle. Like if you eat bad and you work out, you're just on a circle. Like you ain't going nowhere. You're just going in a circle. So you're not getting nowhere. It's a lot. That's the wrong thing that people. My mind actually just went blank. I wanted to ask a question, so I took it somewhere else real quick.
yeah.
it's
Feel you,
cool,
bro.
man.
It's all
Nah.
good.
Not
bro.
only
It
that though,
happens.
not only that though, doesn't whether you eat junk food or not, okay, like you said, he eats junk food but he works out, so he's still fit. Doesn't your body still have a negative effect on the junk food though?
yes, and
So that's
something
what
that-
people don't realize also, like that still affects your body negatively whether
Exactly.
you're working it out or not.
Exactly, the insides. You know, when I was doing the bodybuilding and the fitness modeling,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I remember that.
everybody
yo.
was just like, "Bro, you look so good inside," but I was like in and out of the hospital. All
I
the
do
time.
remember you going to the hospital more than once. Yeah, that's true, though. That's
I was
crazy
in
because
and out of the
I
hospital
do
so
remember that
much.
clearly. Yeah, I do remember that.
I
man.
was in and out of the hospital so much.
Yeah, and you
It was-
were much bigger
I
and
was bigger,
more
bro.
fit looking
I was,
than you
I
are
was
now.
like exactly.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were-
like
'Cause he-
190.
He was in like bodybuilding shape. You were in competition.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I used to compete.
I hear a lot of
yeah.
stories about it, like the I think it's like the third Rocky movie. Sylvester Stallone, like remember he was like the most cut he
Yeah,
ever
he
was.
was pretty in shape.
He
in that
had like
movie.
I think it was like a rumor he only had like 5%
Yeah.
body fat or something like that. They had to take him
Yeah.
to the hospital.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was nuts.
Like
Yeah,
my last
That's crazy.
show, man, you got to smile through it. But like, I was in a hotel room popping aspirins. My blood pressure was through the roof. I was like, I'm finna stroke out.
And at that time, weren't you on the paleo diet at that time? Because I remember
exactly.
you were big
yeah,
on that.
man, I used to preach that. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I remember you were very big
I used
on
to
that.
preach paleo, low carb, keto.
Keto,
like,
yeah, because my father
ketogenic.
now is on the keto diet. He swears by it because he's
And-
lost some
Bro,
weight and he's
the-
diabetic.
Yeah.
He
O-
swears it's
the
healthy.
owner of the studio is on a keto diet right
Is
now as
he?
we speak.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't want to drink the coquito because he was like, I'm gonna go
my
past the
God.
sugar.
Matter of fact, pass the coquito like, a little bit. No, real talk. I wanted to try it. Even though I've had it before.
No, but for real,
Appreciate
my stepmom went on the keto diet and she was over 200 pounds, almost 300 pounds, and she's now 190 something. Wow. So
So
she,
she's lost a lot of weight on
yeah,
it?
she's lost a
I mean, I'm
ton
sure
of
you
weight
can
on
lose
it.
weight
Yeah,
on it.
But you have to
lose
be really
weight.
you have to be really strict on it though.
Yeah.
Like you have to go from like she went from eating like rice and freaking
You can't eat none of that.
potatoes
Yeah,
and
you
all that
can't.
stuff like on an everyday
Never
basis
eat
to
it
now
again. You can never
to
eat it
now
again.
eating cauliflower rice 24/7. Yeah, there's like a little piece of ice in there.
That's a whole cinnamon stick in that motherfucker.
That's the problem with the paleo
Oh, that's
and the
what that
keto.
is.
To me, because me and my girl, we've done it for so many years, and
that
to
was a
me,
piece of
I feel
ice.
like it's not sustainable, and it makes you, it messes with your social life because you can't go out and have a drink. You can't go out and eat with your friends. You can't
Because
do it.
if you don't have enough carbs in your body, it messes you up when you drink,
Well,
right?
when you do
get
keto,
more wasted.
when you do keto, you can't pass over like 20 grams of carbs, which is anything.
Carbs is
And
like bread and pastas and stuff.
you
right?
get
Even
get
stuff with
carbs
high
from
sugar.
vegetables. You get
Stuff
carbs
with high
and
sugar.
A lot of carbs,
broccoli,
though?
broccoli,
with sugar.
broccoli has a
Really?
lot of carbs.
So it's like diets
Stuff
like
with
that
sugar, yeah.
automatically cut out a lot of nutritious foods that are good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's why I was getting shipped to the hospital so much because it was like all I cared about was staying 6% body fat so my abs
Yeah.
would pop.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I can't eat this banana because it has like 30 grams of carbs and just like so there's more sugar in a banana than a donut. So I'm just like, oh, I can't, you know, it's gonna mess up my sugar and da da da. So I was not eating any fruits, not eating any vegetables because it'll put you over your carb limit.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're just
Eating a lot of meat and
you're just
potatoes and
eating
stuff,
meat and
You can't even eat
cheese
potatoes.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
You can't eat potatoes?
You can't eat
You can't eat
potatoes.
potatoes.
You
You
can't eat
can't
potatoes.
On
No.
the paleo diet, you can't.
Okay.
Paleo,
Not
but
on the
sweet
keto.
potatoes, sweet potatoes,
Sweet potatoes.
That's cool, but like not on keto.
Not on keto.
So
No.
now you're a vegan. Right?
Vegan.
Okay.
Started off vegetarian though.
Right. Okay. And now, do you? Now I know. I do want you to talk about why you're a vegan because
for sure.
you have a very interesting take on it, different than anybody that I know. Most people I know are either animal lovers or they will push to you health. He doesn't. He doesn't do
Yeah,
either
nah.
of the each. So just kind of explain to people why you are vegan.
Well, I went vegetarian first, and that was after like studying many different religions and I'm weird. Things that
No, go ahead, go ahead.
things that I'm afraid of. I like study it, so it takes the power away from that. So like if you're afraid of something, we're just afraid of things we don't understand.
Of course.
So if I'm spooked out by something, I'm gonna read it.
That's not weird
Try to
at all.
understand it.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
weird
yeah.
at all.
You know, I mean, I'm just like that. So
Yeah.
I had to say that as a disclaimer before the next thing I say. But you know, like I was brought up Christian. So, but when I went to prison, that was my first time ever being around
Different.
Muslims and people from all walks of life, and I'm just like, yo, these people are pretty cool, and I'm just like, you know, I
You
would
running any
see-
skinheads in there?
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure, yeah.
You ever
All-
sat down
all
and talked to one?
all the time.
They actually have a
all
pretty
the
interesting
time. All
view
the
on
time.
things, to be honest with you.
They're it's not actually so bad. And most of the skinheads, and they never really had a problem with me because they're just like, you don't
Yeah.
you don't act like the type of black person that I actually have a problem with. You
Right.
know, you're intellectual, you know, you have manners, and you know, you have respect. So you're not like one of these dreadhead guys with golds in their mouth walking around with their pants sagging down thinking they own the place. So
Yeah.
it's
A lot
just
of
like
it's crazy because a lot of Africans from Africa look at black
They do.
Americans.
Absolutely.
Americans, they
The
do.
way they
Absolutely.
look at them.
Very true.
Absolutely.
They feel like they're different from them. They're like, don't call me. I'm not African American. Don't call me that.
And vice
Yeah.
versa,
Someone I
though.
am.
And vice
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
African Americans will look at Africans in a certain
Yeah,
way. They
that's
do.
true.
Booty
Remember the way they
stretchers.
talk, things like that.
That's
you know
what
what I'm
that's what I need.
saying? Yes. It really is. But yeah, all right. So you was talking about, why you're a vegan. I want.
Oh yeah. My fault. You know, I go.
Nah,
Nah,
listen, we do that.
we do that all the
collectively. This is known. We go off track.
But I started reading up on Islam and Wicca and Satanism and stuff like that. And one thing that I found in like the dark religions and spiritualities when they use to summon demons and stuff like that, it's a lot of flesh eating. It's a lot of flesh eating. It's a lot of flesh eating. It's a lot of blood drinking. So it's a lot of what we like to call lower vibrational negative activities. You know what I'm saying? So
Interesting.
I'm like, damn. So I started lining stuff up, and then I started hanging out with Danny.
Yeah.
From
out
Imani's.
to Danny. We're gonna have him on the show here, too.
Yeah, Imani's Vegan Kitchen, my boy. The game I peep on Instagram. You know?
Yes.
So he saw me. I used to drink tap water. I used to drink tap water, man. He's like, bro, why you
Spring water.
Yeah, he's like, yo, like I used to drink 2 gallons of water at tap, and he was like, bro, you're killing yourself. You know what fluoride is? I'm like, nah. I used to be his trainer, you know. So it went from him coming to me, like asking me questions all the time, to the point where he's booking sessions and I'm asking him all the questions.
Yeah.
You know. So
About
it was
different
just like,
shit.
I was just like, bro. Then we started hanging
You
out.
getting paid for it.
But, I mean, that was
You
cool
getting
too.
paid,
That was cool too.
so-
But you know, we started hanging out afterwards. You know, it became more than just a trainer client. It was just like, okay, he's my friend.
Yeah.
Because it's somebody who is actually feeding me mentally. You know, and I value the information that he was giving me. So he put me on to the fluoride thing, and I tell you, it's like when I stopped drinking tap water, it's like my intelligence just went through the roof. It's like I became smarter overnight. So I was just like, and he was like, yeah, that fluoride was making you dumb. And he's and then he was just like, I wasn't vegetarian yet. Then he was just like, yeah, and that meat you're eating, you know, it has fluoride in it, and you know, that's making you dumb too. I'm like, what? So I was just like, all right, cool.
What do you feel about chicken, like eating chicken and stuff like that?
I used to
Aside from the
be
meat.
I used to be big on chicken and stuff like that, but really before I went vegetarian, I really just got chickened out because I'm allergic to seafood, so I would just eat chicken, turkey, eggs, and stuff like that. So just got chickened out.
So you
and
just got tired of it all.
Every kind of meat, I was just like grossed out of it. No matter how she would make it or no matter where we would eat, I would just be like,
It was like
Too much
same
of
thing,
it.
same thing, different day
it was
type
just
of.
just
Just eat the same
gross.
thing.
I
every day.
actually got like that for milk. So I haven't drank milk
Yeah.
in the past probably like 3 years. Besides this coquito,
good.
I haven't milk, but
Have you noticed your skin cleared up?
I never had a skin problem really. Like
I used to have acne bad.
But now today, if I've been drinking almond milk for so long that if today I drink milk, I don't like the taste. Like I get like I'm like, what am I drinking? Like
Yeah.
it's just a
Yeah.
funny taste to me now. I'm
Yeah.
like this, and it's weird because when people first get on almond milk, they feel the same way about almond milk.
I like
Yeah.
almond milk.
I
First
like
time I
it.
tried it, I thought it was good. I like it over regular milk. You know what I'm saying? Like I like
Cashew
almond
milk. Cashew
I give y'all
milk,
props. I'll
Cashew
stick with
milk
my
is good.
regular milk.
You don't like almond milk? Nah.
Well, you tried it
I
with the
tried
vanilla?
almond. I tried skim. I've tried. Yeah, my mom used to buy that.
Cashew. I never had
Nasty.
cashew milk.
Cashew
I
milk.
give
It's,
y'all-
it's a little richer. It's a little creamier. Like
Like
so
how
Did
you
they sell that
how
in
you
the
milk
store?
how you milk an almond? How you get almond milk? That's my question. Like
blend it. You blend
Yeah,
it
it's
and
just
you
like a
add
mix.
water.
It's just-
you know,
yeah.
blend it.
I don't even care if that made me sound stupid. That's a real question. That's
but
a
it's-
real
no,
question.
No, I never knew. I never knew until
How you
you
milk an
know.
almond though? Real talk.
Imani's Vegan
That's a
Kitchen, you know,
real
they make a lot of their own condiments.
makes
so
a lot of his
I
own
didn't
stuff.
know until I started hanging around and peeping stuff. I'm just
Okay.
like, you know, I'll be like, oh, that's how you make that, you know, because I ain't want to ask that either. You know, I'm supposed to be vegan. How you make
I don't
almond
care.
milk,
I
bro?
ask any question.
Don't they like soak them? I think you soak them overnight and
It's a
then
cool process.
blend them and then I don't know,
Add
Yeah,
water,
I
add
don't even know.
cocoa or something like that.
Something.
to it.
Spices and water and,
Yeah.
and mix it together.
That's
All I
why.
know is you add water.
That's why.
He said, I don't know, you put some water on that.
Yeah.
That's
Like
why
you
I
cooking
like
dope.
that. That's why I used to watch that How It's Made show.
Oh yeah.
Used to
I
show you how
forgot.
everything is made. Used to be like,
Yeah,
oh
they show you how
really?
it
That's
See
how
the
that
one-
was.
Did you see one about milk?
No.
That when you make you. That's the reason I don't drink milk today. Is because that video.
Yeah.
They have
Man.
wild pus. It's pus in the milk.
Stop.
Nigga, you just told us milk is in the coquito. Now you talking bad
For
about
real.
milk.
And,
I don't even
For
want
real.
coquito
I
now.
couldn't.
Yeah, nigga, we got pus
Can't
in
do
there.
it. Can't do milk. Once you once you eat the fruit, you know, no pun intended, you know. But once you know, you can't unlearn.
Yeah.
So people always ask
How
me all
long
the
you been
time.
vegan now?
Like
Yeah.
3 years, going on 3 years.
Damn, that's a minute. Dog. That's what's up.
I give you props.
Yeah,
Most
it's-
people, I, like,
No,
I've tried,
it's not hard.
I've tried vegan food and I was like,
No, I'm
gotta
telling
get the
you,
right cook.
you gotta get the right
Where's
cook.
the
You gotta-
McDonald's at?
You gotta try vegan takeout. That's really where you gotta try vegan takeout.
yeah, we gonna get into
know,
that.
you
Yeah.
I
gotta-
feel like, I don't know.
you have to try it. I'm telling you.
Maybe if I put like half a packet of sazon and some adobo on it, maybe it'll
No,
taste
I mean,
better.
You can do that. That's vegan
that's
adobo
what I'm
sazon
saying.
or
The
vegan.
seasonings, all you have to do is
Okay.
just
It's all
season
vegan.
the
'Cause
vegan food like you would season meat.
Right.
And really, when you're eating the meat and all, you're eating the flavor.
See
Because
that?
you wouldn't eat none of that meat if
You're
you
eating the flavor and the
if
texture
you didn't
in
put
reality,
no
yeah.
flavor on meat, you wouldn't like meat.
Yeah.
So really,
true.
you like the spices and the flavor. Thing just went in my mouth. So
Good.
you like the spices and the flavor, you know. So
Yeah.
Right.
if you master the flavor and the spices and just put it on tofu or you know something else, because tofu don't taste like nothing. till
I'm
you
be honest
make
with you, I
it
don't
taste
like tofu.
something.
Period. We tried tofu, cooked it a few different. I just
What is
didn't
Yeah.
like
it? Is it the texture?
I've tried
Yeah,
it
it
too.
was the texture. I didn't
like
like it. I know that it said to use it as a substitute to meat.
Yeah.
and, try it, and I just didn't.
I've
I just
definitely
didn't
tried
like
it too, and I was like,
depends.
What I
"Ugh."
did like though was that it was the ground beef.
The beefless ground?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that shit was good, yo.
It
We actually
tastes-
made a lasagna
yeah.
one time. Remember that? Bit? We made a lasagna
Tastes
one time
like
and
ground
brought
beef.
it over, and nobody knew that wasn't
They would
ground
never,
beef.
ever
yo.
know.
I
They
swear,
would
I remember
never,
that
ever
shit.
know.
What I like is the vegan meatballs.
Yeah, I've
man.
had those too.
Those
Those
are
are
dope.
pretty good.
Those
There
are
are
pretty
some,
good.
and it was these turkey cutlets. I think is what they were, the Garden Star brand
Yeah,
or Garden
yeah,
Farm,
yeah,
whatever they
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and they were called turkey cutlets. But yo, that tasted like chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you baked that real well, fried it real well, it actually tasted like a chicken strip. I was like, yo, but they were called turkey cutlets.
Yeah.
They were pretty good though. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
So you get like better sleep and everything, right?
Way
You feel
better
less sluggish.
Everything better. Like my life. I don't want to say your life, whatever. But I'll just I'll just be like, my life has improved. And I keep doing this. My life has improved in every way, and mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm more in
Wait, see,
tune.
we still haven't got. Damn it. That's what I want you to talk about. His view on being vegan is
Yeah,
all to
man.
do with spirituality,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's something I've never heard before.
Yeah, because like I said, we can go back to when I got incarcerated, and when I decided I wanted to go on this spiritual enlightening journey, I just woke up and I was just like, yo, I did so much. I started looking up karma and understanding what karma was, because I didn't understand that. So, and I realized a lot of the bad things that was happening to me in my life, I probably had something to do with what I did in the past. And
Right.
was
You
coming
deserved
back,
it. Right,
coming
right.
back to spank me. So it's
That's real.
like, I'm like, I started looking up how to reverse karma, so or how to clean up that karma. So,
Yeah.
and one of the biggest things is stop eating meat. Because that animal was
Killed, murdered.
Wow, I never looked at it that way.
That's
animal
crazy.
is
Wild, right?
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah, the animal.
That's crazy.
the
When you put
animal
it that
was
way,
dead.
I mean, it
Basically,
makes
right?
sense.
You're taking
Yeah.
in that
It makes
what
sense.
happened to that animal.
You're taking
just pretty
in
wild.
You're taking in murder, death, fear, anxiety, everything that animal felt when it was murdered.
And you made a good point not too long ago. I had read that you said if you leave meat out, what type of animals does it attract?
Absolutely,
It doesn't attract vultures
absolutely.
and,
So
raccoons and rabid animals. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It doesn't
yeah.
attract any
Absolutely.
pretty looking
I
animals.
didn't think
right?
about that either.
absolutely on a metaphysical
crazy.
level.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
On a metaphysical level, I was like, I think I posted about it. I was like, yeah, man, eating meat blocks your blessings, bro. People be
Yeah.
like, yo, what do you mean by that? When you put raw meat in the trash can and you leave it outside, it attracts dogs and bears, flesh-eating
Right.
entities. So my theory is you eat meat and you let it rot and sit in your body, you attract
Bad energies.
and negative energy to
That
you.
shit's pretty
That's
wild,
crazy.
yeah.
That you would think of it that way.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
many
yeah.
people would think of it
See,
that
that's
way.
why I always said I was really intrigued by that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because most people will tell you about the animals and this and that.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what
it
I
had
mean?
nothing to do with the animals,
Yeah.
nothing to really do with health at all. Like everything else was
More
plus.
so
Yeah.
just
It was just spiritual, you know what I'm
Spiritually,
saying? It was
it's,
I wanted to get closer to God and right a lot of the wrongs,
right.
that I did, because
Yeah,
I
feel you.
had my hand in I had my
feel
hand
you.
in a lot of stuff. So I'm just like, man, it was just really weighing on me one day. I was just like, man, I'm really trying to change and
Yeah.
go a different route and kind of not erase but do better for the future, man.
So do you think you would ever eat meat again?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Oh, no.
Never.
Ever, never,
So
never.
you don't think like 5 years, 10 years down the road that you're gonna
He just
crave
he
some type of
lost-
meat?
He lost the
I
appetite.
mean,
for it,
I don't say that. I
'Cause-
won't say that I won't. You don't crave certain things. Like I still crave like Chick-fil-A. So when I have a Chick-fil-A craving, I go to Publix and they got the little chicken patty, vegan chicken patty things. Tastes just like Chick-fil-A, man. So,
Okay.
you know.
I was just asking. I know a lot of people that have gone vegetarian, they've gone vegan, and
Right,
then
but
like
it
a couple
doesn't
years
last,
down the
though.
road,
Yeah,
they're
it
like,
doesn't
"Oh, I'm
last,
eating
yeah.
chicken again." They'll start off by eating chicken and fish, and then a couple years later, now they're back to eating steak and pork and all
There's
that. I'm
been
like,
a lot of people who tried to hang with us, you know, tried to hang with us, and they just couldn't hang all the way. You know,
I know
I'll be
somebody
honest,
who
I don't
went
think I'd be able
vegan,
to.
and their for health reasons, but their health didn't improve, and they stopped. But I mean, I'm sure you know this too. Going vegan doesn't necessarily mean going healthy. You can be vegan and still eat very unhealthy.
Absolutely.
That's facts.
So even going vegan
Doesn't
still
guarantee
you have
anything.
to eat a certain way though.
Yeah.
It's vegan is it could be obviously it's a better way to eat, but it's still you have to eat a certain way when you're eating vegan.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you said earlier, all about diet overall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
It's
your
just
overall diet.
overall.
Because you could
Main
eat
thing.
if you eat vegan burgers all day, that's really not healthy for you.
Exactly.
Processed
Yeah.
food. you know what
Oreos
I'm
are
saying?
vegan.
Yeah, Oreos are vegan.
Oreos are
Aren't
vegan.
Twizzlers
Yeah.
vegan too. Like you can eat Oreos.
I
and
don't
you
know.
can eat a
I don't like
salad all
Twizzlers.
day every day. And that's
Shout
really not
out
healthy for you.
vegans.
You know
Shout
what I'm
out
saying? You need
vegans.
more.
Oreos are vegan. I did not even know that, but that's interesting.
Oreos are
I'm
vegan.
gonna go
That's
vegan.
like-
I'm gonna eat Oreos all day.
There's a lot of food people don't realize that are considered vegan. When people think, oh, I gotta go vegan, I gotta get vegan food, or I gotta eat vegan food.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you eat rice, you eat beans, you eat
It is like, yeah, like you
oatmeal,
said,
like
Oreos. They're like Pringles.
Oreos,
I remember I seen this list of like
Pringles.
foods that you don't even realize
you don't
are
even
vegan.
realize
Yeah,
it's
you don't
vegan,
even know it,
and you good. You know,
and
it's
you already
just-
eat them.
It's just not eating
Too
animal
much of
flesh.
it.
No, it's just not
To me,
eating
what's
animal
difficult
flesh.
though
Yeah,
about
that's
being
right.
vegan is the dairy. The meat isn't hard to stop eating. It's
The
when you realize
dairy.
dairy is in
Everything.
everything.
Yes, everything.
That shit is in every
Everything.
dressing you like.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, man, that shit is in everything. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Bro,
I'm a-
cheese, that shit
I'm
is
a-
in everything.
And I love ice cream. I don't know if I can give up ice cream.
They
Man.
got
Okay.
vegan ice cream.
No, there's
So-
some good vegan ice cream.
Vegan
out there.
ice
Yeah, I've
cream.
had vegan ice cream.
Anything
How about-
you want.
How about pizza though?
You must have.
Vegan pizza. Anything
I've
you
never
can
had
have.
So you
vegan
must
pizza, but I
you
know
must
it's out
have
there.
trouble going to like regular restaurants and stuff like when you tell them like you're vegan just for them to find stuff or
You have to make it
even
happen.
that.
we go to vegan restaurants. you
Oh,
know,
okay,
So you don't even go.
Okay.
I don't even want to risk
Be
the
tempted.
chance. No, not even tempted. It's
Okay.
a cross contamination.
Oh,
'Cause
okay,
it's
okay.
like not
Cooking-
only
you say
am I
using the same
not only am I
cooking utensils.
vegan, but I'm severely allergic to seafood. So I don't got time to play, man.
Yeah, I
As
feel
someone who's worked in a restaurant that wasn't so cleanly,
Exactly.
Most
I heard.
restaurants,
Yeah,
Heard.
honestly, it's pretty bad when you
Heard.
work. I work in the, you know what I mean? I work in doing AC refrigeration in some of these restaurants.
You get to go to behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
once you work behind the scene in a restaurant, you can never eat at that restaurant
Exactly.
again.
Yeah. Some of them are clean though. I'm not gonna front. Some of them are very clean, but some of the motherfuckers is not. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't ever eat at a Chinese food restaurant.
Oh, why
Just
you tell
stop
me
eating
that?
Man,
I
why you
love
tell me
Chinese
that?
food.
Why
Stop
you
eating
tell me
Chinese food
that?
right now.
Chinese
It's
food
already
is
bad that he's telling me that meat is bad. Now you
Them
telling me no
people.
Chinese.
I'm not saying meat is
Y'all
bad.
messing up
I'm
my
not saying
whole.
meat is
Y'all
bad,
messing up
you
my
know?
whole food. Like
We're opening your eyes to things now.
Now,
Yeah,
would you
just-
consider
Like-
now if somebody told you they came to you, to get in shape, right? Because you're a personal trainer. I know you also would do like meal plans, right?
Yeah,
Nutrition,
yeah,
and
that's
they say they can't not eat meat.
That's
what
fine.
would you? I guess not prescribe. What's the fucking word I'm looking for? What would you tell? them to
What
eat,
would I
basically?
write them?
Yeah, what would you write them up to
basically
eat?
like because most of the time people they assume when they come to me for meal plans, I'm gonna write them a vegan meal plan.
I'm sure you would want to.
I'm gonna push like what I do. I'll try to fill your plate up more so with vegetables instead of telling you like don't eat chicken. I'll be like, okay, cool, we're gonna get like 4
That's gonna
ounces
be your
of chicken.
smallest portion.
Yeah,
right,
and like 2 cups of kale with that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
so you
saying?
try to balance it out.
Yeah, like so we, it's I never try to tell people what they can't do.
So just cut
you know.
it back as far as
Yeah,
portioning
I
at
try.
least.
Yeah, if you tell somebody what they can't do, then the mind subconsciously is going to
Want to do it.
Want to do it more. Resistance
Right.
makes stronger.
That's
so it's
true.
just like it's just naturally the kid in us. So that's why I never will be like, you can't do this, because anytime I did that,
They would do it.
They would do it. They would do it. So I'm just like, nah, you could do this, but let's try to add this on the side and let's, work with me. I'm trying to work with you,
So now, speaking of the meal plans, obviously earlier you were talking about vegan takeout, right? So
Vegan
that's one
takeout.
of your businesses, right? Because
Vegan
another reason I wanted to have
takeout.
you on the show was not only for health and fitness, but you own a few businesses, man, more than one. So
Hustler, bro.
it's a good thing to talk
Yes.
about on the show as well.
Yes.
So talk about a little bit of vegan takeout.
Vegan takeout. We make an awesome pollo guisado.
Hey,
What? Get out of here.
What?
I pronounced that correctly.
You pronounced
definitely
that
did. You
great.
definitely
Hey,
did.
That was A1.
You sure you're
That
not
was A1
Dominican?
right
You sure?
I'm
He
Nigerian.
said pollo guisado.
I am
A1.
Nigerian.
For real. I'll have you know that is my favorite Spanish dish. So the fact that you have that in vegan, I'm gonna need to try it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm
crazy.
curious.
Yeah, tuna. I didn't even know I made that.
Exactly. Instead of chicken, we make it with soy curls, which looks exactly like chicken, tastes just like chicken. We actually fed it to people who are strong meat eaters, and we told them afterwards, after they were eating it, that that's not even chicken.
Yeah,
They were like,
so-
"Oh, wow, that's good."
Yeah.
You know,
That's
so-
what's up.
You might have to do the same thing to me because I'll be like, nah.
That's
Nah,
fine.
you already
I'm
told me
telling
what
you,
it
once-
is.
I
Nah.
think that's
once
part
you
of it,
smell
though. When you go to try something new, you know what I mean? You got to kind of not, you know what I mean? You can't really tell people
course.
what it is, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah,
Just let them try it. Just eat it.
exactly, because they're gonna be turned off because it's like that's one thing we do.
A little
especially,
bias to it.
especially when we visit my family in California. My thing is what I do out there is I try to take the kids from like the hood and I'll bring them to like vegan places and I'll like have them, pay for their food and like have them try
Something
vegan foods because it's just like one thing I notice is it's not just in California, but it's just like in minority. Look, I don't want to say minority, lower income areas. There isn't very much nutritious food for eat. It's
Not
for
at
us
all.
to eat. It's almost like a
Or
setup.
not easily accessible or not at a low
it's
price
not
either.
easily accessible, and I was just like, yo, I want to solve that problem. I want to, and it's like when we go eat at other vegan restaurants, man, we're spending like $50, $60. So it's just like
It's expensive.
the vegan restaurants. Not only are they in more affluent neighborhoods, even if a young minority, a young black kid or a Spanish kid wanted to like try to get into this lifestyle, it's gonna hurt the pockets. Just going out to eat, you
And
want
that's
to
a
take
shame,
your girl
man,
out, it's
right?
gonna hurt the pockets.
And that's a big thing too with eating healthy is the cost of it. Even though I do feel like there's always things you can offset. You know what I'm saying? As far there's always things that you can do to accommodate. Your
Facts.
health is important, and you should always
Health is wealth.
yeah, exactly. At the end of the
Health
day,
is wealth.
make it happen
If you
because
go-
it's important.
If you going out every weekend drinking, eating
you
Fast
know
food's
afterwards.
not cheap no more. You go to McDonald's right now, a meal's $10.
Yeah, facts.
Like real talk, food is not cheap. Period.
They got
Like
a
you can
dollar
go
menu. and they got coupons.
But I'm saying, even then, like the dollar menu, what
But
are you
now
paying
though,
for?
like,
Trash.
exactly. I was about
you
to
gotta,
tell you,
you gotta
like,
get
No,
12
you're
burgers.
right.
a
Damn,
dollar.
whole cinnamon stick
Like
came out.
if you buying like a whole meal for like $1, you gotta like ask yourself, is this
You're a female. You
is
probably
this
don't eat much.
is this
A
even
burger.
real food?
Exactly. It's
Is
not
this
real food.
even real food? If
No, you're
McDonald's can afford to sell it to me for $1
$1,
and
facts.
still profit, when we know it costs money to slaughter animals and
Yeah.
all of that stuff like that, they sell it to you for $1 with the bread and cheese.
the bread
something
and-
ain't something right.
Ketchup, mustard.
I see you seen the video where they
Preach.
left the burger, like the McDonald's burger out, like for days, months.
It didn't
It doesn't
even-
spoil or
Yeah.
nothing.
No, it's
Yes, I
different.
seen that
You
But
put
think about
that
the
in your
fries. A McDonald's
Yeah.
fry. You ever picked up a fry that fell in between your seat or something? That should be hard.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
It
not
don't
a regular
spoil.
potato.
No,
Yeah.
It's
It's
not. A
not.
potato gonna spoil.
it
That
didn't
shit
even
ain't
lose
gonna
its
look right.
color. It won't even lose its color. It'll still be yellow.
Is that really a potato?
Exactly.
Shit.
And you realize all of these companies cut all these corners just to make a profit.
They're selling us cardboard. That's what
Yo.
they're doing.
Exactly.
Wow, we
And
still
they
eat
don't
that
they don't
shit.
care.
Don't give a
They don't
fuck.
care. And it's
Yeah.
like that's why I stress so much, especially to the younger generation, minorities especially. I want to reach the younger crowd because they really don't know any better. And a lot of us, we just do what we've always done or what we've grown up doing or what we've seen our mothers or our grandmothers do. And I know, me being African American, a lot of the foods that were given to us
Soul food,
were
right?
scrap
Yeah.
foods, and we just learned how to dress up the scrap foods and make it taste a certain way, so make it edible.
Damn,
Like
like chitlins, though, right? Nah, think about it though. Damn, that's crazy.
But we just kept
Chitlins,
doing
greens,
that.
all that. It is. It's
you
really
know,
scraps that you made good as fuck.
We kept doing that.
That's
So it's
crazy.
like I personally seen it within my own family. Within the last year, I lost my grandmother to lung cancer, and I lost my biological father to heart problems. So it's just like,
How old were they?
man, my grandma was 83. My
so it was a
biological
long time.
father was, I wanted, nobody really
Right,
knew how
right,
old
right,
that guy
right,
was.
yeah,
He
I
would
feel
lie
you.
about his age. Rest in peace, Johnny Ray, man. But heart conditions, heart problems and stuff like that. And I didn't know I had heart problems until I was going through the bodybuilding and I was doing the keto diet, and I had that little mini heart attack after work. I had to get rushed to Port Orange, and that's when I was done with the keto, because they didn't understand why my heart was acting crazy. It was they couldn't even read it. My blood pressure was crazy through the roof, but everything inside was clear. They're just like, I don't know what's going on. And it's just like,
That's another thing too that we got to watch out as minorities. We like to put a little bit too much seasoning in our food.
Exactly,
sometimes.
man.
So,
Salt.
a lot of salt.
Dave Chappelle got a good joke
Yo.
about it, but it's true. And he was like, the
It's-
number one thing that kills us
Yo,
is table salt.
You don't realize it until it hits home. Just like I said, my
Well, my
father.
food,
Right.
tastes, my food tastes good though.
Facts.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's the one thing that I would, it's a little bit too late for my family, I would say, because they have that mindset. They're just like, oh man, but it tastes good, but it tastes good. But it's just like, I'm beating them in the head with this information. I'm just
But I mean,
like,
you could argue that your food tastes good as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
But,
Like, you know
they're
what
not
I'm saying?
they're not trying to hear that. They're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
After a while,
know.
your tongue gets pretty much it gets adjusted
taste.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
say it's only 3 days that your tongue
I thought it
remembers.
was 21 or
It's
something.
21.
It's 21.
if you eat vegan takeout, it would be half that. It would be half that. Because like I said, we are solving a problem as far as like.
So what exactly are y'all doing as far as business wise?
Man,
what exactly
I'm
is
excited.
Vegan
I'm
Takeout?
excited. It's kind of like we want to be like the Domino's for local, in the Volusia County area. So it's just like, yo, call us up.
Go
place the
bigger,
order,
go home. Go
deliver.
bigger,
You
go
know what I'm
home.
saying? So it's just like
That's what's
that's my vision. That's my dream. So
You trying to like franchise
franchise it.
all
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
You trying to
So-
do delivery, like have your own delivery
All
people,
that,
or
all
like
that.
have like Uber Eats do it? Because I know that's the hype. I've seen every restaurant I've seen have Uber Eats delivery.
I'm gonna get in where I fit in. Honestly, that's what I do.
I've
Yeah.
seen
Whatever it works.
However,
I've seen restaurants. I've seen restaurants use all of them. I've seen them use DoorDash. I've seen them use
Okay.
Bites,
Yeah,
and
you
I've
You
seen
really
them
put
use
me
Uber
on
Eats.
something. So yeah.
See,
that's
well,
what's
I
up.
do
Deltona.
I do Uber Eats on the side, like driving, so picking up foods and
Oh,
stuff.
word,
so I
word.
see a lot of like hole in the wall restaurants that people don't really know about
Yeah.
that you can find on Uber Eats, and of course they get business because as soon as you get on the app, you'd be like, oh, what you want? It has it separated by what you're looking for, like whether you
That's
want
cool.
Chinese or whatever the case is,
That's real
and it'll
cool.
show you like all the restaurants in that area of under that category that you're looking for. So
That's excellent, but it's like
you
us
can look
at
into that.
Vegan Takeout. We're everything. We're covering American foods. We're covering soul foods. We're covering all your the favorite Spanish dishes. We're covering Asian dishes. We're trying to put everybody out of business, man.
You got
What's up?
Caribbean?
What's up?
Caribbean, all that. We can do everything.
Where is
we
this?
do everything.
Where is this restaurant at?
Where is this? It's not
Facts.
a physical place.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's not a physical place yet. That's what I'm saying. It's more so like a order out until
Oh, I know what you're talking
okay,
about.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We gonna start off
Call
like
up,
this
order,
until we
and they
get
bring
our
it to you.
Oh, okay, it's
till
kind of
we
like
get up.
the people in the barbershop.
Like
They
Trap
have
Kitchen.
the set
Yeah.
plates.
Have you ever heard of Trap
yes,
Kitchen?
yes, in LA, yes.
Where,
I have.
yeah,
I've
in
seen
LA.
them.
Yeah. Trap
Trap
Kitchen.
Kitchen, yeah. They cook at the house,
Okay.
and basically they literally just post on IG what they're cooking,
Yeah.
and that shit is booming. Like,
But yeah, we're not making it. We're not cooking at the house. We're out of Beast Coast Nutrition. So,
oh, okay, that's
in
what's
New
up.
Smyrna, so we had to get a commercial kitchen. Everything's.
Oh, I
That's
see what you're saying to get your
crazy.
license. And
Yeah,
everything.
we
Okay,
just got
that's
our
what's up.
license. That's why I'm like pumped up about it. I'm
Yeah, it's dope.
Or
Real
even,
excited.
As fuck.
even eventually, I know now, like food trucks are making a thing back.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of food trucks
yeah,
in there.
we wanna go that route, but then
That'd
we
be
were
cool
gonna go
too.
that route initially, but then we saw the startup costs.
I was,
Oh,
man, so you said it before I
okay.
could say it because I was gonna say food trucks are great, but that startup cost.
I didn't think food trucks cost that much money.
It's a restaurant on wheels.
Isn't it like
basically.
100? It's like
Yeah.
100 grand or more, isn't it?
I mean,
like at least like a good
Oh,
one, at least
wow.
150.
Yeah,
A good one,
you're
at
gonna
least
be spending
150.
some bread. I mean, you're gonna drop even
gotta
for a
have
raggedy
bread.
one. You're gonna drop like 50 G's, 60 G's.
Exactly.
I mean,
so
it's a lot.
I was
yeah.
like, I got a $1 billion idea. So that food truck thing,
it'll get you there.
it'll
Yeah.
a couple years. But yeah, this is we're the first really to do anything like this. We're at the
That's always the best way to do it.
absolutely.
Be the first.
We're at
Be
the
the
front. We're at
first.
the front of the wave. So we're definitely gonna make some ripples.
Yeah, I gotta try that
at
pollo
least.
guisado, though.
Pollo
I gotta
guisado,
try
yo.
that.
For real,
dog.
I've been
Order
thinking
that.
about that for a
I'm
minute
telling you.
since he said it.
You guys do
telling you.
catering?
Yeah, we
Yeah?
just got, that's the license we got. We're officially
Okay.
caterers.
That's dope. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, so we could pull up to your party,
Whole event.
and cater the whole event, man. Have everybody eating healthy, turning up.
And that's the wave too, because like I think I seen, I forget the exact numbers on it though, but being vegan is like the #1 diet trend over everything. And I forget what
Yeah.
the numbers were exactly, but yeah, it's
growing.
The wave.
It's
It's
growing.
growing.
It's dope that you're catching it now where the wave is
yo.
coming.
It's growing. Everybody's getting on it. Like it's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's
You live
what's up.
longer. It's
Yeah.
a heart healthy diet. So why wouldn't you? There's so many ways to get behind veganism, and what I like it brings people from all walks of life, whether you're Christian, Muslim, atheist, white, black, gay, straight,
Yeah, you'd be surprised
You
at how
know.
many religions are basically vegan.
Buddhist.
Yeah, Buddhists are
Buddhist, that's
vegan.
Yo, that's why I got down
My
with them. I
aunt
was like,
is
yo.
a Seventh-day Adventist, and they aren't vegan, but damn near, man.
Rastafarians?
Like,
Yeah.
Rastafarians, yeah, they're vegan.
Yeah.
But yeah, my aunt's Seventh-day Adventist, and they don't really eat no meat, no nothing, dog. Yeah, it's pretty
That's pretty
crazy.
cool.
Like, I was surprised. Like when they do an event, it's fruit and stuff there. Like that's
Yeah.
it, and like little desserts. They don't really eat any type of meat or anything.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, it is pretty interesting, man. There's a lot of religions like that don't eat certain meats either.
Yeah, I mean, in the Bible, it tells you you're not supposed to
Yeah.
eat certain meats,
Yeah,
but people
it says
do
not
it
to eat,
anyway.
Like hoofed animals, I believe is what it says.
Like-
people.
Like you said, you tell people
Bottom
not to
feeders
do
like shrimp
stuff
and
and they
stuff.
gonna do it.
Yo,
Oh yeah, no shellfish.
Besides
Yeah.
the fact
no
that it tastes
shellfish.
delicious.
It's a bottom feeder. Yeah.
You think it tastes delicious because it's the seasonings and the sauce. And
It's really,
all
I think it's
that.
really the seasoning and all that, and the texture.
That's
You know
what
I'm
it
saying?
is.
If you get
So,
something that has the same
exactly.
texture, that same
Facts.
feel of
'Cause if
meat,
you-
and then the seasoning,
Because if you
really want to know the
if you
difference.
think about it, if you eat a chicken without no seasoning, how's that taste?
You're
Nasty.
not gonna like it.
Terrible.
All
So
you
that's
eat
what
is
I'm
that
saying.
texture. All you eat
Yeah.
is straight texture.
You're
like,
not
nah,
gonna
this
like
is
it.
not-
So if
yeah.
you were meant to eat that,
and you can't eat that
you
shit
should
without
be able
not
to just
cooking
go
it.
outside and bite your teeth into a chicken and start chewing.
You can't.
Like
You can get sick.
when have you ever
Yeah.
seen a lion, kill something and then roast it before it ate, and then sat down with a fork and knife?
But it's because they're built different. They can eat that.
Exactly.
they can do that.
They're built and their digestive system can
It's
digest
meant
that.
for
It's
that,
a
yeah.
lot shorter. Ours is a lot longer, like herbivores. So
Mm-hmm.
Heard the two is like our teeth are like our jaw is made to
Grind.
grind the
Nah.
vegetables and stuff. If you look at a lion, it only chomps and swallows, chomps and swallows.
rip and tear.
Yeah.
Versus grind. Yeah.
So even our
pretty
bodies
cool.
are not even built to really eat flesh like that.
Niggas still gonna eat some meat tonight. Stop fronting, nigga.
Hey, I don't have
Shit.
anything against anybody who likes to eat meat or put.
Good, man.
I
'Cause
don't
some
have-
vegans out here be on some Nazi shit.
They be like down your throat
Yeah,
with it.
man, like,
People
just
automatically
chill.
like try to check themselves
Like
when
it's
we
a
come
whole
around. Like, bro,
religion.
live, live your life. Man.
It's like
Live
people with
your
religion.
life.
Like if you
It
put
is.
religion
That's
out
what I'm
too, people start to get turned off. They're like,
I know
okay.
you're a pastor. I'm
It
like,
is.
talk
It is.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
exactly like that. So I try not to
Oh, I
sound
got
preachy.
some in there, wildin'.
I try not to sound preachy, but it just comes from a place of love because I actually give a damn. I care about you. I want to
That's
see
real.
you live. I want to see you here for your kids.
You
man.
you came in, you gave
It's
us a lot of
also-
good points about really.
No, you really did.
You opened my eyes
It's
about a lot of
also
stuff.
it's also kind of hard too, like growing up, especially in a Hispanic Caribbean household. That's all they eat is meat.
Yeah.
You,
No, exactly. We
you
grew
done
up
grew
with
up
that.
eating pork chops.
And
You
that's
done grew
what
up
makes
eating
it hard, too. How hard
oxtails,
was it
chicken, all
when
that.
you first turned vegan? Coming from that background, when you got to go to
Yeah.
your family and say, "Nah, I don't eat this stuff."
I mean,
no more.
even we just went for Christmas, so it's heartbreaking, and it's kind of like they look at you like you're bougie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but my family's been looking at me like that for years.
You used to that, like fuck it.
So it's
right?
just like, you know, because at first I came with the paleo thing. I'm just like, oh, I can't eat carbs. No carbs. Then I came with the keto thing. I was just like, oh, I can't eat that. I can't no potatoes. Now we're coming. Then I came with the vegetarian thing, and I'm like, oh, no meat. Now I'm a vegan. So they're just like, oh, this guy. Oh my god, he just don't eat. Like, oh my god. Like, so.
Now I'm not gonna lie, you just made yourself sound like an asshole, right? It was like coming through like, I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I don't eat this, I don't eat that.
I try to see it from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, that's real though. That's how you're supposed to view things.
You come into their house, they prepared something for you. And my family, how they show love is through food.
Right.
And
that's real.
I'm like, my favorite dish
you
growing
can't even
up
eat anymore.
was macaroni and cheese. My auntie Jenny's macaroni and cheese.
Damn.
She would make a pan for me every year. And it broke her heart when I just told her, I was like,
I feel you, dog.
It's not that I'm like making a decision not to eat the cheese, but it got to a point where when I would slip up and eat cheese, I would wake up in the morning and vomit for like hours.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like,
you got to the point where your body was
like,
good without it.
I literally can't. Like, I want to do it, but it makes me physically sick now.
That's how I am with pork.
It.
Even though I eat what I eat, my family, we didn't grow up eating pork or for nothing like that. So
breaking my heart today. Breaking my heart on this podcast.
My grandma, they eat pork chops. They make penne and all that stuff. But my mom,
I grew up eating all that.
Yeah,
facts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but my mom, for some reason, she went the other route. Like, and she just doesn't eat it. I guess because her father is like she has a different father. So he's vegan. So she kind of.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
not the one you met.
No, I know that, but I'm saying I didn't know he was a vegan.
Yeah, he's a vegan. So so she kind of went off of him, and so that's how kind of I was raised.
That's what's up.
We still eat chicken and fish, but no red meat wasn't in my house like that. No pork or nothing like that.
My house, but it was
For
all
real.
that. Yeah, but even when I stopped eating red meat, it was like a big deal. You know what I'm saying? When you would say, I'm not eating penne no more, I'm not eating pork chops, they'd be like, what? What you mean you was raised on this way?
Once in a blue moon, I get a fix for a steak, but then it goes away.
Even to this day though, mostly at the house, I eat chicken and turkey. Even then, not again, I eat steak. But even like to this day, I try and keep the meat. You know what I'm saying? Down. It's hard though. I've done a lot better than I have been recently. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna front. Yeah. But it is something I've always tried to do the vegan thing. I looked into a lot of different things, and I noticed that like we said earlier, going vegan doesn't necessarily mean automatically being healthy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't honestly feel like eating some meat is bad for you. I think eating it in excess is bad. And I do honestly believe that dairy is what's worse for us than
absolutely,
meat.
Absolutely.
I think that if you stop eating dairy, you can still eat meat, you'd probably be better off.
Because paleo, you cut out dairy. And
oh really? Is that what it's more about?
Yeah,
okay.
You cut out dairy and bread, and you watch your sugar intake and stuff like that. But
I say the best thing for the people out there is to don't stop all the stuff cold turkey. Kind of take out a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Be realistic with it.
Yeah.
Or not even that. If you're just gonna eat normal, eat in moderation. Don't overdo it. Yeah. I know people that'll sit there and be like, I eat healthy, but they'll sit and eat two platings of the same healthy food that they're eating. Like
something else that also helped me lose a lot of weight was someone told me don't always eat to get full. Eat just to get.
I've always heard that.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up, because there was another thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Another powerful tool. Another health boosting, heart healthy tool. Another thing that will help you live a little bit longer and lose weight. Intermittent fasting.
Oh yeah, you are big on that, and you've been big on that
forever.
And I'm glad you want to talk about that, because that is interesting to me. Because that, to me, I'm not gonna front. It sounds crazy.
It sounds.
You're talking about not eating for what 16 hours, right?
I mean, is
that daily?
Every day. Yeah.
See, don't eat for 16 hours.
Yeah.
What is it, like from 7
at night to 11 the next day, right?
Yeah. So if you stop eating at 9, you won't eat until 1 the next day. So you're just skipping breakfast, giving your body time to digest what you ate last night. So that's why a lot of people, that's why we gain weight.
You can drink water though?
We just drink a lot of water, coffee, and things like that. Zero calorie.
I could see now I can do that. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of coffee.
I'm not gonna front. I do that in the morning sometimes. I won't eat breakfast. I'll just drink my coffee. and I'm good.
It
I can
fills
be
you up
good.
kinda
Yeah,
for
I
lunch.
can drink coffee and water and be good till lunchtime.
Yeah, because the caffeine blunts your hunger. So like most of the time when I'm fasting, I get
But
hungry.
I put sugar in my coffee.
Nah,
I need
you
to chill
can't
out.
do it.
Yeah, I need to chill
It's
out.
gotta be. It's gotta be black.
I put cream in
Nah,
mine.
I've been
gotta be
trying to put
straight
less
black.
and less sugar to get used to that bitter taste of
Yeah.
coffee. You know what I'm saying? A little bit like
Straight
wean
black.
myself onto it. Yeah.
But the thing is, the magic with the coffee, it helps with fasting because caffeine helps mobilize the fat cells. So it's like it'll help push the stored fat cells into the bloodstream so you could use it for energy because you're not eating food. And your
Right.
body's going to have to pull from somewhere for energy.
Got you.
So it's going to pull from the stored fat. So what fasting does, it gives your body more time to pull from the stored fat versus waking up eating a snack, then eating lunch, eating a snack,
Yeah.
and eating dinner, then eating a snack, then wake up, eat breakfast. It's just like you're still trying to digest lunch and dinner from yesterday. So what intermittent fasting, I don't want to just run everything together, but intermittent fasting does is just gives your body a time to like reset, detox.
So you believe we need that much time to do that? Because I mean,
And,
we're always
yeah.
told to eat 3 meals a day, right?
Yeah,
And you're
that's
up for
exactly.
16
I've
hours
tried
a day,
it every
so-
single way. I think I got fired from LA Fitness in Port Orange because I was eating so much. I did the 7-8 meals a day thing, and I was always in trouble. Like, you're eating again. I'm like, what? I'm a trainer. I'm eating good food. I'm showing people what to eat. You know, but that didn't fly. So, but I'm someone who before I say, oh, that doesn't work or I don't like that, I'll try it first, and then I'll give my personal experience, and I'll be like, this doesn't work for me because X, Y, Z, and what I found when I was eating the small meals or grazing, what they like to call it, graze all day, is every time you eat anything, your insulin spikes. So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to keep the insulin and the sugar down or at least level. And that's what fasting helps do because you're not eating anything. It kind of levels out the blood sugar and everything like that. But if you're consistently eating, let's say you eat a meal, your blood sugar spikes, comes back down, you feel like tired and stuff like that, and you eat again, then your blood sugar spikes, and you can't burn fat when your insulin is spiked.
Right.
So it's just like
when your sugar levels
when
are
you
high, basically.
when your sugar levels are high, you can't burn fat because the insulin kind of prevents that.
I've always been told that to cut out the sugar, and that's how you really burn fat. That's how you lose
so
stomach fat.
Exactly.
Lose
Yeah,
sugar.
when it starts, that's sugar. When you have like a belly, like that little fupa or whatever, that's from sugar and drinking and like all of that stuff, beer, all the simple sugars and stuff like that. So the minute you cut that out, that'll go away. So.
This is good to hear all this stuff, man.
Yeah,
Intermittent
fasting, bro. I'm
man,
telling
it's-
you.
it's
If you
interesting.
want to try it, I tell everybody.
And that's
start.
also kind of a religious thing because I
It's-
know I
it's a
grew up in
religious
a
thing.
Christian household, and my
Yeah.
father used to fast
And pray. You just
Not
pray.
fast and pray. That was it. you know?
Muslims too.
Yeah.
They'll do
Yeah,
too.
Muslims. Ramadan. That's what
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah,
eat
yeah.
nothing all
They
day,
be,
right?
They be cranky
Until the sun
too.
goes
Yeah.
down. Yeah, when
Yeah,
the
they
sun
don't
goes
eat nothing
down.
till the sun goes down. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they don't drink nothing
Yeah,
either.
nah.
No water, no
Yeah,
nothing until
nothing.
the sun goes down.
Yeah, they're really dedicated to that. So
Yo,
yeah.
and Hakeem Olajuwon played in the playoffs during
heard about
Ramadan.
that.
Yo,
That's
that's
crazy,
wild.
yo.
How the hell do you do that?
That's nuts. That
Because I know a lot of boxers that are, Muslims. They won't fight in that time because they just can't. They can't train and not.
They can't do a
eat
lot of
and,
things.
yeah,
They-
you wildin'.
they
I,
can't
don't know, I
let
like
them
to
live.
work out on an empty stomach.
How did he really?
Yeah, I prefer it.
So you prefer to work out
Early in the
empty
morning.
Stomach,
Early in the morning.
First thing. Wake
First
up?
thing in the morning.
And
wake
why
up.
is that? Is that just something you
Gets the
prefer,
blood
or is there
going.
something behind that?
Because it's just like that to me. What I feel like because the last meal that I ate is still going to be the energy, still going to
From
be
the night before?
Yeah, it's still going to be there. Versus if I wait hours, my body's still going to use the energy from the last meal that I ate, to whether I'm like reading a book or like pressing T-shirts or training somebody. So I'd rather use that energy. Me first. I have that me first. You gotta love you first before you
Right,
love
right,
anybody else. So
right.
I handle me first. Wake up super early, like 3:30, 4 in the morning. Handle me first, and I can get to everybody else because I don't want to be.
morning.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep at that time.
For real, I was just about to say.
I mean,
Okay.
I have a
Yeah.
process when I get up. I pray, meditate, stretch,
Stretching is important too.
drink a lot of water.
What time you go to bed for all that?
Whenever I fall asleep, honestly, just whenever. But
You ever gone to bed at like 1 and then wake up at 3? That's
if
dedication.
I go to bed at 1, then I'll like wake up at like 5 or 6.
Okay,
Get a little
push
more
it back a
sleep.
couple
Yeah,
hours. Gotcha.
That's still
All right.
early as fuck. though.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah,
like,
that's about the time I wake up. Is about 5:36. Like just normal. My body just get me up about that.
Yeah,
time.
no, I heard Michelle Obama is already working out at like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So
yeah,
I'm just
I
like,
remember
yo, the
reading an
Obamas
article
do
on
it.
that.
If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
Yo, if you look at the schedule of a
That's
lot
true.
of billionaires, they're up. They might not be working out, but they're up
Early.
early. All of them are up super early. Mark Cuban.
That's when my mind's
all
the
these
most
dudes,
creative.
yeah.
That's when if I like
Early bird
if
gets
I'm training
the worm.
somebody, like even if I'm training somebody later on that day, I'll like wake up at 3 in the morning and write the workout program for later on that day because my mind is fresher. After I eat, my mind is.
Isn't that when Wall
Yeah,
Street?
that's when you get
isn't
the
that when like
itis.
Wall
Yeah.
Street opens? It's like from 4 to like 9 or something like
I
that.
think so, yeah,
And that's the only
super
time they're
early.
up. It's like from 4 to 9 is like when they're only up at around
Get
that
up
time.
mad early, yo.
That's
What's
crazy. I need to start. I've already made my plan for 2019 to try to
Facts.
kind of like do that.
Actually,
Start trying to get up
before,
earlier.
Before you even came here, my plan was to actually start cleansing tomorrow. So what do you
Fast, bro.
suggest?
Fast.
Just fast?
Now,
Boom.
what are you thinking? Like smoothies? Is that you think that's a good meal replacement?
Yeah. If you have a hard time, that's one of the things that I did when I first got into vegetarian veganism was, even now I hate eating vegetables. I hate eating vegetables. My baby makes me eat vegetables all the time. So, but
So wait, so still to this day you don't like vegetables and you're vegan?
yeah, I don't like vegetables. I'm
That's
vegan.
crazy.
That's another reason I wouldn't
You
even be
eat,
able
nigga,
to do
I
it.
watch what you eat, mad vegetables.
Because she puts it on my plate. She puts it on my
funny,
plate.
yo. You eat mad vegetables. though.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. She looks out for me though.
Let me
that
just
way.
get this
That's
over
real.
with.
Yeah, that's what I
But
do.
I'm sure you know C.T. Fletcher. He's like,
Yeah, I
YouTube
met him.
Guy. You did?
Yeah, I met him
Dope.
in person,
Well,
yeah.
I remember seeing a video he did, and I always liked him because he's one of the motivational dudes who
Yeah.
kind of talk shit with it. Like he's very
Yeah.
upfront with it, but he said some real shit. He was like, "Yo, I don't eat for flavor. Like I don't
Yeah,
eat
nah,
for taste." He's like,
nah.
"Yo, I eat
For performance.
Yeah, I eat to live. I eat to be healthy. Like I eat this, you know what I mean, so that I'm in shape." He's like, "I don't
Yeah.
care what it tastes like." You know what I'm saying? I was
Exactly.
like, "Damn, that's some real shit." Like that kind of made me feel like a bitch. I was like, "Damn,
No,
over
that's-
here, like,
that's
yo,
like
this
a
shit don't
body-
taste
Complaining
good."
about it,
Nah,
right?
nah,
yeah.
that's like
And he's like,
Yeah.
"What?"
That's a whole mental thing. He
Nah,
must have
for real.
mentally
Yeah.
gotten himself ready to
That's
do
a
that.
bodybuilder thing because it's like when you're getting ready for the shows and stuff like that, you're eating plain chicken and rice 6 times a day. So it's like you're not using no seasoning.
Yo,
You
that's
can't use no
crazy. So,
salt.
I heard
So-
Shannon Sharp saying that on national TV not too long ago. Ray Lewis, when they were playing on the Ravens together, Ray Lewis said that Shannon Sharp kind of took him under his wing. That's when he started getting real big, and he said that's what he made him eat. It was raw chicken, not raw, but unseasoned
plain chicken and rice.
chicken and rice.
Yeah, brown rice.
like every day.
Yeah, chicken
And
and rice.
Shannon Sharp said he still eats that to this
Chicken
day.
and rice. Chicken and rice.
And I'm not
chicken
gonna
and
lie,
rice.
Shannon Sharp was jacked, bro, for being like
Yeah,
50
that was
and older. That dude
was
in
the
shape.
best I ever looked when I was eating
That's
chicken and
crazy.
rice. But
Why
I also
unseasoned chicken though. What?
because I was watching my salt and I was playing with. That's what.
But
sent me
is
to
that the
hospital.
point in doing? Is that
Yeah,
why
yeah.
they do it? Because it's no salt.
Yeah,
or nothing?
like when you do the bodybuilding shows, because it's like when you're up there flexing, you look like you're healthy, but it's just like
Tall.
you haven't
Yeah.
drunk water in like 48 hours. You have depleted everything. You have no fat
that's
on your
crazy.
body.
It's
You
like
gotta
boxers at the
flex.
weigh-in.
You got to flex. Yeah, it's like a weigh-in.
Yeah, when you see boxers
that
at
lasts-
weigh-in, they're
it's
mad
a weigh-in
cut.
that
It's 'cause
lasts
they haven't
12
drank
hours.
water in a day. They're
It's-
dehydrated.
I was like, I see the box. I'm like, yo, I could do that.
Yo, they
Because it's just
dehydrated is what they are. They're up there dehydrated. They're
Like,
hungry.
I was like, I could do that
They're
because it's
starving.
like you gotta like that's like a
That's
weigh-in
how
that
they
lasts
get them to fight.
like
they been
all
That's how they
day.
make weight.
put two hungry niggas in the ring.
you gotta get up there, flex every muscle, flex this way, turn this way,
Yeah.
flex this way, turn that way, flex that way, turn this way, flex that way, turn this way, flex that way. Bring them back on stage. We don't know who's gonna win. Flex
Yeah,
this way, flex
that's
this way.
crazy, though.
Then you gotta come back at night for the night show.
So let
do
me
it
ask you
again.
something, bro.
They get spasms.
Because you're a pretty
Yeah, too.
intelligent
Yeah.
dude, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't feel a little slavish to you?
Yeah, that was before I quote
feel a little
unquote
showcase.
woke up. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm just
Yo, I didn't
saying,
even
that
think
doesn't
about
feel
it
a
that
little-
way.
That
That's
doesn't feel a
crazy.
little, you know what I mean?
Yeah. People are like, "Oh, would you do that again?" I'm like, "Nah, I kind of like get like PTSD from it now."
Wow.
But, like
Right.
It makes you
before-
feel less, right?
Not like when I got into it, it was like completely because somebody approached me. It was Conrad Reed. Come to find out he's my cousin later on, but I didn't know who he was. I was at a high school reunion with my mom, and I was just like chilling, vibing, and he came up to me and he was just like, "Yo, I'm doing like this little bodybuilding show in a couple of months. I feel like you would be good for." I'm like, "Bodybuilder?" I'm like, "Have you seen it? I'm little, I'm
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
I'm not a bodybuilder." He's like, "No, it's a different category. It's like modeling, and it's like more so the beach look, with more so just look like you work out, more so look athletic,
Right.
versus big and scary, because women don't like that actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, them niggas be looking wild.
they actually don't like that.
So I thought bodybuilding was similar to combat sports where there was weight classes. Is that not the case?
Some shows have weight classes. Some shows they're separated by height. Some shows are separated by skill level. It depends on which event you're signing up for and the promoter.
I always thought it was
There was
by
something.
weight.
There's always something about those shows that they put like it doesn't show
Tan.
you more cut when you're tanned or something.
Even I tan. I remember I threw a fit at my last show. I threw a fit because I paid it wasn't like $150 for my tan. And she like lightly sprayed me, and I couldn't even see it. I was like, "Nah, hit me again." You gonna hit me again, man. I need to be dark under these lights because I had.
That's crazy.
It was stupid, but I put all my money into that show.
No, I feel you.
Because
At the time, that
I
was a
felt like
big
I was
deal.
gonna win.
Yeah, at the time, that was a big
Everybody
deal.
was in my head. They was like, bro, because that was like I was competing with the WBFF, and if you don't know what the WBFF, it's like the NBA of like modeling. So it's like competitive modeling.
Right.
at
So it
least.
was a big deal.
It was like the big leagues for me. I went from small pond to jumping in there. Like the last show I did, there was people who flew in from London, to compete against me. So I was just like, it was like people who were on magazines and people who had like 1 million followers were back there. So I was just like little old me.
Yeah. I feel you.
And then I was just like, man, I'm really out here. I'm like, I'm out of my league, but I'm like, yo, I'm gonna see what I could do up against these guys.
Right.
Type of,
It's a big deal. That's what's up, though.
Yeah.
I feel you. It was a big deal at the time. See.
Man, it was a huge deal, but I put all of my money. That's expensive doing those pageants.
That's what that is.
It was $300-something to register. So I was just like, I look at that, like, man, that could have been a plane ticket, man. So I was just like, it was $300 just to get in the competition. My little briefs that I wore were like,
What do you
The
get out of it? Like money, like when you win.
when you're an amateur, you're competing to be at the professional status, and the reason why I chose the WBFF over all other organizations is because they help to put you on. Because I wanted to be in movies, I wanted to be in magazines and things like that, and they help do that. They act like your agents, and because really, what the little pageants are, they're like pretty much like talent scouts. They, it's like almost like they're picking you out. If you go professional that night and they pick you, they start working on your image and working with you to like make you a brand. So I was just like, man, I really want that to happen for me because it could take me to a level where I obviously couldn't take myself, and it would boost my personal training business as well because like, yo, he's a professional model. Like I want to work with that guy.
For real.
Right.
So I was just looking at it like that.
Like an investment, basically.
It was an investment, but I lost everything because at the second round when I came back at night, when I got my suit tailored, because I had to get my suit tailored, but I was like, it was before I started dieting, so it was way too big on me, and I didn't put it on. I didn't even try it on until the last second. So I'm putting all on my stuff, and I noticed, and it's hanging off me like I'm a homeless person. So I had to walk out there and just face it. I lost all my little points, man. I lost all the little points I was about to get.
That happens.
So I was.
Maybe that was the
upset.
best thing for you, though, right? Because
It was the best thing for me.
Lane for you.
Best thing for me because I would have been still stuck in that world. And one thing, that world, I don't want to say kind of turned their back on me, but a lot of people stopped hitting me up for like interviews and coming to speak because people used to hit me up to speak all the time at their little events and motivational speaking. But ever since I did like a little Black Lives Matters protest, a lot of people kind of like, man, I actually lost. I lost a lot of clients behind that.
Yeah,
I lost a lot of clients behind going
so
to a
sad.
protest and posting it. So I was just like, and I remember a lot of my personal trainer like friends. They were like, "Bro, don't do it. Don't do." I'm like, "What? I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying, I'm black and I feel like my life matters in America.
Yeah.
So if that's the message, then I'm about it.
A lot of people think the message is
Violent. And it wasn't.
Not only violent, but they think it's just like only black lives.
No,
matter.
no,
That's
no.
not what we mean.
No.
We're trying to say, we know you're always mattering.
Aside
I wanna
from
matter
your
too.
lives,
Absolutely.
we matter
Absolutely.
also. Aside from
Absolutely.
yours, we matter.
And I firmly believe that black and of course minority lives, every life matters. But I'm really trying to make sure my message reaches the I almost said colored people, but minorities, because we're the people who need the most help as far as like that knowledge. My people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Right.
I sit back and I look at my own family dying from diseases that could have been reversed because they're in love with food.
Something like, simple, right?
I would always tell them, I would be like, are you in love with food or are you in love with life? With which one are you in love with this food more than you want to live? So like when you break it down like that, and it's just like, man, I don't want to feel like a crackhead, but when you like really look at it, it's just like, oh, I'm choosing to do this even though it's detrimental to my health, it's hurting me, it's not serving me in any way, and that's really what I'm all about. I don't do things that don't serve me. So it's just like eating meat doesn't serve me or serve the purpose of where I'm trying to go, the direction I'm trying to go. So it's not even about like me looking down on them. It's just like, oh, it doesn't line up with what I'm trying to do.
Right. So I feel you. Keep that energy in 2019.
Yeah, bro.
That's what we're trying to do. Right?
So what you want to speak into existence for 2019? Like,
vegan takeout, man.
Vegan takeout.
Vegan takeout, man.
You got another business too.
Teas by Tea.
Yes.
Teas by
So
Tea.
how did that come about?
It was actually
and what is that? Let us know what it is first.
Teas by Tea is a custom T-shirt printing business that I came up with after a flop. I always make lemonade out of my lemons, and that's one thing I learned from being in prison. Because that was when I thought that my life was over. I can't do anything. I'm a felon. I can't get a job. Blah blah blah. But I really learned creativity and learned how to keep my head up for real. Do not like when you don't see the light, still keep your head up, and then eventually that light comes. So that's where I learned that. So when I try not to sound preachy, but
preach it. Sometimes people need to hear it.
That's cool too. But it was a failed attempt at a clothing line, and it was just like we put out the Live Aesthetic like clothes and stuff like that. And people wasn't really feeling that. So I was just like, man, I bought all this because I invested. Again, I'm someone who when I get money, I like invest it. Right. I don't even really spend it. When I get large lump sums, I had a lady that I was working with cut me a check for like $1,500 and was just like, yo, I'm gonna cut you this check. I believe in you. Change me. Work. You like, yeah, I surrender to you. So I was just like, she was just like, how far? How many sessions will this get me? Just do it. Go. I don't care. Just go. Take my money. So we did it. And I changed her body, and I took all the money and I put it into trying to start another business because I was just like, yo, I don't want to just be a trainer. I feel like I'm not going to get rich doing this. So I don't want to do anything I feel like I'm not going to make large sums of money doing. So I felt like I'm not going to make large sums of money going to a 9-to-5, and I'm not going to make large sums of money only having one stream of income. When I was in prison, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah,
that's where I started reading. That's where I started reading. That's why I say,
right? Isn't that crazy?
It was prison was
how that works,
the like a blessing from God for me.
That's
because
crazy.
I'm like ADHD. I don't sit down long enough to like read, but then I sat down. You have to sit down. You have nothing to do.
It's like Elijah, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, actually says the best thing for a black man, which sounds crazy, is for him to go to prison. That's where he got
Malcolm X from. He plucked him straight out of prison.
It's nuts.
Yeah, that's where the intellect comes from, and the more I read, the smarter you sound. So it's just like I started off reading urban books. That's what it was. Books about gangster stuff, and it was just so explicit in there, especially the stories told from a woman's perspective. And I started liking books told from a woman's perspective because they get very
detailed,
more in detail. So I'm just like,
because they pay attention to all those details.
They pay attention. So it's just like I ran through Pipples in the Skirt 1, 2, 3. And I just kept running through these little urban books, and I'm just like, let me read a serious book. So I picked up Rich Dad Poor Dad. I actually brought that book home from prison with me, and I gave it to my girl. I was like, hey, this book was the best. I'm passing it down to you.
Yeah, that's a good
This book changed my life. I've been holding it for 10 years. Here you go.
48 Laws of Power in there, too, I bet.
Yeah, 48 Laws of Power.
48 Laws of Power. You got to read that. That's a mandatory. That's the Bible in there.
Art of Seduction, 48 Laws of Power, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now, we were reading Tookie Williams' book, Blue Rage, Black Redemption.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace. What else were we reading? Oh, yeah. It was a book about the stock market, too. That's where I didn't know what the stock market was until I went to prison. I didn't understand
Right.
what it was and how it worked.
One thing I come to realize about the stock market is it's not. They just use a certain vocabulary to make it confusing.
Yeah, it's on
When
purpose.
you understand the vocabulary, it's no different than anything else, and it's really not that difficult to understand. They just throw out random words to make that shit sound like. It's like
Exactly.
most other things. Like even in my field and what I do and in my trade, a lot of that shit is easily comprehensible if you use different words.
Absolutely.
People
All
get,
it takes.
People get triggered in the wrong or right way depending on what words you use.
Exactly.
yeah.
If I
might
start
warp 'em
throwing
into-
out mad where you could be like, oh, this shit sounds crazy.
But of course,
Absolutely.
they're not going to put it in words for everybody to understand,
No.
'cause then everybody would be doing it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, it's the truth. That's the point, though. I think
Yeah.
if you really want to understand anything, if you want to do anything, vocabulary, learn the lingo, learn the language of it, and
Yeah.
it'll be 10
Even-
times easier.
I notice a lot because I really don't have time to read. So what I do is I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new thing, and
And
I
just-
want to get on that for 2019 is listening because I listen to mad
Yeah.
podcasts. So.
Yeah. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks and just listening is sort of kind of like reading because
Yeah.
because I do.
You're still soaking it in.
You soaking it all
Yeah, it
that.
still
You're
counts.
Somebody
imagining
talking in
it,
your ear
you're
with all the
picturing
words.
it.
It's like
Yeah.
So you start using them words.
Yeah,
I
it
noticed
still
I've been.
counts.
I catch
Yeah, that's
myself. I'm
true.
like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I do that too. I'll start using words that I might not even fully know the meaning to, but I've heard it used in a
But that's
certain
good though.
context.
That's
so
I
I'll use
was
it,
doing
too.
that. I still do that.
Yeah.
You know, I'll know how to use the word in a sentence,
Yeah,
but
you know how
not
to, you
exactly know what that
Yeah.
word means. But that's a skill, especially when you're trying to network in other, especially with me, what I do. I'm in all types of circles. There was times where I'm in circles with millionaires, and then there's times where I'm in the hood. It's just when you're a trainer, you have to be able to
Adapt.
adapt
Yeah.
and be able to speak and
I
translate.
feel
to
that's
everybody.
how Obama I feel became president. It's just by the way he talks.
Yeah.
People, that's the
Smooth talk.
greatest thing about Obama. He's one of the greatest
Smooth
speakers.
talk.
I mean, when he talks, he makes the world feel like everything's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is all good when Obama speaks. He's amazing at that. And he really is that was what he was great at. And I think that's why people always loved Obama. He's a good person. He's
Him
just
and
an
Michelle.
all around. Yeah, they're just all around
Both of
good
them.
people.
Both
like,
of them.
You
Yeah.
can't not, you know what I mean? Like, you can't really hate on them about anything. They're just good,
Not
wholesome
only
people.
not only that, I feel like they're the most relatable too. Like all
Yeah.
the presidents in the past, they didn't have kids that were young or around teens ages. They were
They did, but they were a little bit more.
Not really.
Sheltered.
Bush's daughters were
well.
wilding out.
Oh yeah, they were all wilding out. Yeah,
Clinton, I don't know what the hell Clinton's kids were doing. Chelsea Clinton. What the hell
Okay,
Chelsea Clinton
so
was
let me
doing?
rephrase what I said. Their kids were kind of like the ideal kids. Like their bond
They
as
did
a
have very good
family.
kids,
Their
yes.
kids, their family in general was like the family everybody kind of wanted to have. Like you kind of wanted parents
Like
like,
the
that.
Cosbys.
You wanted to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
they were relatable compared
And you
to
know why?
everybody
That's
else.
I think why they got a lot of clout too, though. They just because they're like people now. Even to this day, I seen a video of them. They went to the On the Run tour, the Jay-Z and Beyonce tour. And people were like going ham, like, "Oh my God, he's the greatest president ever!" Like, what does that have to do with him being a president? Because they went to the Jay-Z concert.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people would
being
real deal
real.
go out there and vote for him just because he went to a Jay-Z concert. Like,
Nah.
what does that have to do with him being president?
and it's just
dog?
because he's relatable.
Dog,
that's it.
exactly.
It's just 'cause
Likeable.
he's-
People
He's
vote
That
for
too.
him.
likable.
That
He
But
too.
it's
is,
like
though.
you don't even know what this guy's like. What a lot of people say is, what did Obama actually do for black people since he the
I ask
whole
that
8
question
years?
all the time.
The
You
whole
know-
8
you know what
years
it
he
is?
was
I ask that question a
He
lot.
didn't do nothing.
He
Really,
really didn't
he
do
really
anything.
he tried, but he couldn't because he didn't even have the House or the.
The thing is this: when you're a president, Trump doesn't have the House.
that's right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People don't realize when you're a president, you can do executive orders. There's things you can do. They say president doesn't have
But
power. That's
for
not true. For one, and Obama's biggest problem was he was soft. He was very politically correct.
Yeah.
He was soft. He was super nice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that was his biggest problem. He would want to do a lot of great things, and people said they wouldn't let him.
Now
It's not the case.
Look at our president now. He just shut
Yeah.
down the whole government because they're not giving him what he
The
wants.
government shut down for Obama too when Obama
Yeah.
tried
Oh,
to
yeah,
put in
yeah, yeah,
Obamacare.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was like I
And
think
the
it was
Republicans
like-
didn't want to do it because they didn't like in Obamacare that you can go to jail if you don't have insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And now, you know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
that's
So the
nuts.
government shut down over that. And that was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So, and now look, same shit with Trump. It's
Yeah.
Every president is the same. There's
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Trump isn't much different than Obama. Like, there's only so much that they can do in reality.
They're
But-
only human. at the
yeah,
end of the
they're only
day.
human.
They
You know what I'm
come-
saying? But there are things that they can do. I think Trump's problem is he just doesn't give two fucks. He's doing shit.
He's real blunt. And just
He's wilding out. He's doing a lot of shit that he shouldn't be doing.
You saw how they damaged his Waka.
Oh yeah.
Star.
The dude
taking
who
out-
did it.
yeah,
The
they
dude
taking out
did
the
it
star.
twice. The dude
Yeah.
did it twice.
They
I think.
keep doing
They're
it.
taking out the star.
And he was like
Really?
happy
Yeah.
about it.
I know
He
the-
sat
I
there
know the
waiting to go to
second-
jail. Like he didn't give a damn.
The second time that he destroyed it, I think I saw a post where they put like a box around it so nobody could do anything to
I saw
it.
somebody build a little wall around it.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty funny. I thought at least.
Yeah, they do. I believe they're doing away with
Yo,
the
if they
star,
tell
'cause
y'all
they're spending way
$30
too
an
much money
hour
fixing
to
it.
build the wall, you going, Fred?
They're what?
$30 an hour to build the wall.
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
Nah.
I don't even like
40.
Mexico like that. I'm good.
You gotta go to Mexico,
Right there.
Texas, nigga. They swimming across that.
I might
motherfucker.
trip on the other
Nah.
side. They might leave me there. Might not let me in. Back in. I'm good.
Shit, Trump want to build that wall to get that money. He's the general contractor on that bitch.
The war really doesn't make sense, man. Anyway,
Nah.
immigrants
Yeah.
come more on
They
airplanes.
fly on planes. Yeah.
More than anything.
If there's a will, there's a way. They're gonna find a way
Exactly.
in, regardless.
They
If
gonna
there's
get
a
in.
wall there, they're gonna go the other side. He gonna put a wall around the whole U.S.
Yeah, it
No.
does. It
The
doesn't.
nigga might. I'm telling y'all, he's the general contractor on that bitch.
They
He
gonna
wanna
come
build a
through-
wall around
they gonna
the
come
bitch.
through
He paid for that
California
bitch.
with-
Yeah, it gotta be.
Shit. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all though. That's I didn't like Trump long before he ever ran for president because that's how he built a lot of those hotels and stuff. Was he'd have a business, and that under that business they build the hotel. So on the front end, like let's say I have my AC business and they get a $50 million contract to do all the ACs in this hotel. I'll get my half up front at $25 million. The hotel gets done. I never get my money on the back end because once the hotel's built, Trump will bankrupt that business. So now he doesn't have to pay you, and then they reopen the business and buy that building back in the auction.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
and that's what he did. That's how they built Atlantic City.
That's crazy.
That's how he did
That's dirty,
a lot of his hotels. Yeah,
That's really
he's a
messed
very
up.
shiesty business. Now that is completely legal. What I just told you, that's totally legal.
You gotta know the rules in order to break them.
Exactly, and that's what everybody says. They say,
Yeah.
"Yo, say what you want." What he did was genius.
He did his thing.
But I always thought that's fucked up because, like I just said, yo,
Yeah.
that's my. If that was my business, you just ruined my family, bro. I was banking on that.
That's
That
what I'm
money went to
saying.
paying people up front and getting materials. I didn't make nothing off that.
He's not
I'm
caring
wait-
about
yeah,
that.
he don't care
He's
about
caring
that.
about his family, his legacy, and the things that he's gonna leave for his
Exactly.
children. You know, I mean, that's
And-
why I applaud him because I mean, that's where
But that's why I didn't like him.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's fucked up. But at the same time,
But
I
I
look at
mean-
things on all sides.
All
and I say,
sides,
yo,
yeah.
if I was him and
exactly
I'd probably do the same
if it was,
thing,
if
yo.
It was a, if it was a
I'm
black
gonna
man
make
doing
$150
that,
million off of you, yo,
bro,
you just
I would
a mouthful.
I would be. You
I'm
know,
too nice. I can't.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm too
I'm
nice, too. I
on
wouldn't
the
be able to
same
sleep at
side.
night. Does you think that? But do you really know the effect? Does he really know what these people went through? He don't give a shit. He's
He don't
long
care.
gone.
He
He's
don't
across
care.
the country
That-
making them deals.
He don't
He's
care.
never gonna see
That's
these
what makes
contractors.
that's what makes
never gonna see
it.
their
But that's what
kids.
makes it 10 times worse. though,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
you, at the end of the day, like you're doing these things, yeah, but. He doesn't know what that contractor was going through.
He
At the
doesn't
end of
look
the
at them
day.
in the
That
eye ever
contract,
again.
that contractor could have been on the verge of having his house foreclosed on. He
Yeah.
don't know that,
Yeah.
and he just did that shit, and boom, like
Exactly.
now that contractor could be on the street just because he decided to do
After
something
he thought
dirty
he
like
just had
that.
his biggest deal.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah,
And then
in
you
his
like,
life.
but that's where selfishness comes in because
Yeah.
he already got money. Why is he doing stuff like that to screw other people over? If you have the money,
when you inherit,
why can't you do it right?
Though, I think it's different. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure we've all been in a place where you might be up. Let's say at one point you had $20,000 and now you got $1,000. You're like, damn, I'm broke. But to somebody else, $1,000 might seem like a lot of money, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So to somebody like Trump who inherits or is used to having $100, $200 million, $300 million around, you need to keep that up or do more, right? Because your
Yeah.
father gave you this, so
Yeah.
now I've got to step it up.
because you
That's
got to remember
true.
You know what
he's
I'm saying?
living.
So it's
I mean, that
different.
makes
It's different.
that
Yeah, the way
makes
you
sense.
live-
I'm looking at it from the perspective
Yeah,
of the
from our perspective,
Yeah.
the way we
Of
would
the-
look at it, like
the
yo,
middle-
that's-
middle
give me
class,
$100
like,
million, I'm
damn,
good
that's
for
what-
life. But to them, I was
Yeah.
born with $100 million, so I need,
More.
more than that, a lot more than
Yeah,
that.
I mean that's what I
That's
would be
crazy.
thinking of, and like
Yeah.
ever since I became quote unquote woke, really my mind has been focused on building,
Wealth.
generational wealth,
Yeah.
and like building something to pass down, building something.
What
that
do you think black people should do or minorities should do to
whatever
build generational
whatever you're
wealth?
good at, whatever you're good
I
at.
feel
That's
like-
why
Whatever
anybody who
you're
talks
good
to
at it
me,
and do it.
I try to
Yeah.
breathe life into them because a lot of people they're like afraid to start a business, or they're afraid to like.
I don't even know how.
Because
don't even know how.
Don't even know where to start, where to go.
Exactly.
You know what? We know what we need to put in our culture is just to try to teach the make sure to have the generation teach the next generation on how to keep a business. Because we were just talking about the other, I think the last podcast about after the third generation, they said the third generation always messes up the money.
You know Damon Jones from Shark Tank? He had the black guy, the only black guy on Shark Tank.
Okay. Who did Fubu?
I saw you going a little blank. I said, black guy.
Black guy, black guy.
Nah, but real shit, he says he's not leaving nothing to his kids.
What?
Because of that. Because he says it is a fact that if I leave it to my oldest, the next kid is going to fuck it all up. So there's no point. He was like, and I was never given nothing, and I'm a millionaire.
You think about it that way, though, and it makes sense, though, because they're going to be used to it. Like you said, with the whole Trump thing, you already get the money. You get the money inherited. You're used to it. You need to have that money.
Some people won't take that route, though. Some people won't take the route of trying to get more money. They're going to blow it. They're going to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying?
They're so used to having it. They don't know how to get it. Like, they feel so easy.
It's
or they feel like it's going to just keep getting handed to them.
Exactly.
I feel like it's whoever is putting that in your head, whoever's teaching you.
That, too.
Because, I mean, look at Master P and Romeo Miller. You know, he was born into millions. And
Very true. Very true. He's a hustler in his own
Romeo,
right.
I feel like, is doing better than Bow Wow. I don't know these dudes' pockets, but
right.
You know,
what it looks like.
It looks like he's made better decisions with his life and money versus
look at his
little Bow Wow.
Yeah, look at his father.
You know, you had a father teaching him and guiding him versus Bow Wow who had his mom. That's not. I don't want this to sound sexist or anything like that.
Right.
But it's
shout out
Master
to Master
P
for 2019. We get some love as dads out here. Yo. I just want to say we don't get enough love out here in the streets. Father's Day is always an issue.
Man.
Mother's Day is like the greatest day ever. Father's Day, people be arguing.
I like V Sky Day.
You know what I'm saying? V Sky Day. When the fuck day is that?
My birthday.
When's your birthday?
February.
February what?
1st.
Oh, my February 16th.
Turned 21.
You're Aquarius, right?
I sure am. Yeah, I sure am.
We got jits in the building. I ain't know you was that young. That's what's up, though. 21. Damn. What you did for your 21st birthday, Fred?
21st.
Do you remember?
Let's not talk about
Because you was probably wild.
Let's not talk about
my bad.
He was probably on a whole other level.
Nah,
what I did? What you did when you turned 21? Was you in prison?
I was in prison.
Damn.
I turned 21 in prison. I
turned 20
honey
in
bun.
county. Niggas had a honey bun cake?
No, real shit. Every year I turned 20.
Because you did
21,
3, right?
Yeah,
you did 36 months.
Yeah, did 20, 21, and 22 in prison. So like every year, people would be like, bring me like a honey bun with peanut butter on it, with a Newport on top, and like be like happy birthday, and then try to smash it in my face every year. So it's
they don't have tobacco in prison.
Not anymore. Yeah, they took it. They took it right after I left, and I was like, thank God, because I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Right?
I was already in there tripping. I was tripping, man.
So you was smoking. You was smoking cigarettes in prison when you got out. So but you got off them, obviously.
Yeah, man, because I was still trying to smoke while I was working at the gym. And like I didn't know, and if you're a smoker, you don't smell the smell on you, and you don't know how offensive that smell is to somebody who doesn't smoke. So I would be like, before work, I'd be smoking a cigarette, drinking coffee, just chilling, and then I'd be like, oh, I gotta get to work. I live like 10 minutes away from the gym, so I'd just shoot to work, and then I'd be like training somebody, and they're like,
think you smoking cigarettes?
No, they'd be like, at first they'd be like, do you smell cigarettes? I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I don't smell nothing. Then I get closer and I breathe on them. They'd be like,
so you still
do
smoking?
you smoke? Do I smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, no.
I don't smoke cigarettes, no.
Oh, no.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
You know what that answer means.
Yep.
Cigarettes.
No, I do not partake in cigarettes.
No.
I can't wait till they legalize it, man.
Yo, do y'all mind if we take a break?
Take a
bathroom.
Take a trip out west, man. Take a trip out west, LA.
Yo, we'll talk about that when we get back to the break. My wife and I went to Vegas and it was legal. That shit was dope.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. This is a New Year's episode.
Feeling like I could be godly to you. Nice for me, but you ain't gotta be rude. Say my name, I think you got some sense. Some say Trump this, some say Trump chance. Fuck it though, man, you ain't gotta be cool. About to blow up like a fucking balloon. Only the pop at your face, look at you. Sit on my, sit on my, sit on my, sit on my. Condolences is. Man, the flow so sick, if you notice just when I spoke how cold it is. But I'm hoping this is an introduction to the Holy Land. But I'm noticing I need heaven on earth, cause it may seem like somebody life's perfect. That's just looking at the surface. This might get you nervous once you notice everybody wants to pie. Bunch of leprechauns chasing rainbows in the sky. Everybody's telling you they ride till they die. It's music to my ears when they lie. Wake up, focus, notice, true. Wake up, wake up, kick up, you roll it, hold it, to your two. I got all my brothers through. Like once you know that everybody wants to pie. Bunch of leprechauns chasing rainbows in the sky. Everybody's telling you they ride till they die. It's music to my ears when they lie.
Well, we back, man. This is the PRG Podcast. I hope you enjoyed them tunes.
Yes.
We're here, be back. Yo, we went in for a good hour and a half, and we didn't even notice. So,
that was good conversation.
So if some of y'all are used to the music, and y'all want the music back, let us know. If not, hey, you want more conversation? That's better
exactly.
too. Either way, man. But we back.
Yeah, no, that was a good conversation, good insight on a lot of different things, man. Health, fitness, just a lot of different. We covered a lot in that first
We
segment
jump
there,
topics.
Yeah, we always do that though. We always just go all around with different things. But no, that was good. That was good.
Now back to the weed.
Yeah, we was talking about that legalizing. Florida's coming, yo. Florida's on the way
Yeah.
to legalize. Shout out to John Morgan.
I feel like Florida would be the last state.
You
simply
think so?
Really?
What? It's already. I mean, we just did the medical.
The medical, yeah, we got like little pharmacies
I
here
mean,
and
for
there.
it to go fully recreational,
Fully.
I feel like Florida would be the last one to come.
Huh.
And when you say the last one, you say like 4 or 5 years, like less.
Wait, when you say
I
last,
feel
you don't
like-
mean out of all 50 states, do you?
Yeah,
I
one of
don't
the
think so.
last, bro. I feel like, bro.
Nah,
Simply because of
Really?
the values. This is the South,
Yeah, definitely.
conservative
Very.
South.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I didn't think about it like that. Yeah.
If this is
You
the
see New
South.
York? You see the mayor?
they,
the mayor?
they legalized it up there, right?
Yeah, it's like
Is it
Yeah.
recreational?
Or they're-
it's not
no, they're-
recreational.
Not
It's like
recreational.
one
For
step.
next year.
It's like one step from to being recreational. I
Yeah.
know there's like 4 steps to it.
I know.
It's like 4 different ones. I know.
I know it's not recreational, but I do know that you're allowed.
Small
Now they
amounts.
did say that, like if a cop would see you smoking in the street, they can't stop you anymore.
yeah.
So you're allowed. So
Oh,
it's
wait a
not
minute.
recreational.
No, in New York?
That's
no,
what
no,
I
no,
was
no.
heard.
They
I
just
heard
don't
from
take you to
multiple
jail.
people.
No, they're treating it kind of like drinking. So if you can't drink in the street,
Yeah, you can't smoke. Well, that's
You can't
even
smoke in the street either.
in like
That's
in Vegas
how it is
too.
in
where-
Cali, too.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
You can't smoke in
It's
the
like
streets.
drinking. Yeah, it's
You
just
can't
like
walk
drinking.
around and smoke weed.
of course you're gonna have your people out there that's gonna be smoking in the streets like
yeah,
that. But
and honestly, a lot like in
Yeah.
Vegas, they really didn't give a shit.
yeah, exactly.
I like literally I asked the guy when I was in Vegas because we went out there and we were in the store and I was like, yo, can we just walk out and smoke it? Like he was like, no. And he was like, I mean, you can, like, and they're really not gonna care. He was like, but don't like smoke it in the hotels near the front doors of the hotels because you can smoke cigarettes.
Well, you
in
gotta
the
you gotta be
casinos.
dumb if you do that though. That's where
But I mean,
most
the
people.
thing is this though,
You'd be
it's
surprised.
legal.
Nah,
Weed is
We're gonna
legal, so
put-
if they're in there smoking a cigarette,
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's recreational. I'm drinking a beer.
Yo,
You're smoking a cigarette. I'm gonna light up a
I
blunt,
ain't even
right?
go to front. I think it was like 2016 or 17. Like I was trying to do that. I was trying to like smoke weed where it was like wherever cigarettes was at. And like
Yeah.
he was like, "Yo, you tripping?"
Yeah.
Bro. I'm like, oh, I thought it was legal.
you got a little too happy.
They still got
Too happy.
rules and that. And you know what's crazy? I remember I read this little article about people that still go to jail in Colorado because they smoke up in the mountains, and the mountains are national fucking
Like a national.
national park is
type
state
thing.
property. It's federal property. Weed is not legal federally. So
Yeah,
when you're
that's
smoking on
right.
federal property, it's still against the law.
Oh, that's
So
nuts.
people go hiking.
So the
they go up
rangers
in the
catch
But
mountains,
people don't be thinking
and they
about it
smoke.
like
Yeah,
that
you don't
though. Like
think
I wouldn't
that.
have thought of
And
it like
so
that either.
They go to jail. Yeah,
Wow.
like a lot of people do that.
My
So
uncle-
if
my
you go
uncle-
to Colorado, don't be smoking in the
My
mountains.
uncle's about to go to Colorado, and he was just inviting me. He's going on the 16. Tickets are cheap, 75 round trip.
I heard
right now.
Colorado's actually very nice. Though.
Round
Denver's
trip,
a really nice
$75.
place.
I want to go to their bed
just
and
got his ticket
breakfasts.
What y'all flying? Frontier, Sprint,
I don't know what he's flying.
Spirit,
But he invited me. I was like, 75? That don't
two
sound too
people in
bad.
one chair type shit.
I'm not a smoker like that, but if I'm out there, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you got to.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't smoke
Yeah.
like that, but if I'm there,
He was
you know
talking.
what I'm saying?
He gonna take advantage.
He goes to Colorado like every 2 months type shit. Like that's his
what's
place.
up.
He
Yeah.
says they got like bars.
Flying
where-
private jets over there. What are you bringing back?
Gold dust and shit. Huh?
Gold dust.
No, like I had gold
You
on
remember
me.
Gold Dust,
Yeah,
the wrestler?
Yeah. Come on. He's still wrestling, which is the lost part.
Is he? Get out of
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
How old is he now?
Nah,
67?
I don't know. He old, bro.
That's crazy. He's still on the same.
Yeah,
shit?
still on some gay shit.
Yeah.
You already know. I still watch that shit, bro.
be on some wild
From time to
shit.
time, I check in.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, what was I talking about?
I don't remember. We talked about Gold Dust, and then it just threw us all off. You know how that be.
We was talking about Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. But yeah, he was talking about that how the clubs had like they have hoses like how they have hookahs like in the chairs and you just smoking it's just weed, bro. And like low shit, like crazy. You ever been to Colorado or no?
No. I
That's
wanna go.
dope.
Shit,
Yeah,
bro.
that sounds like somewhere I need to be.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
It's just weed. He said he was so high. He said the day he was packing, he said he was just staring at the wall like this for a good 30 minutes, and he was just
Yo.
like, "Yo,
I'm putting that on my
On the
to-do
real, though,
list.
Economically, making weed like legal it's
It's a good move.
It's I mean, there's just no way around that.
It's more healthy than
not
drinking,
only for
too.
Not only for the taxes, like how much money the state will make, but the businesses that come from it. Like if you look at Colorado,
The jobs
people that
it'll
do
create.
the jobs that they create from all these grow, places,
Dispensaries.
I seen a business where they will. They pick you up from the airport and you can smoke in the car. They pick you you pay for
like
this.
a
They
limo.
pick you up with weed.
I seen that.
They take you to a dispensary where you buy your shit, and then they take you to a place you can smoke, and they take you
Florida
to your hotel.
slacking.
It's like a tour.
It's a whole business that they created. And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, that's genius. And they even do, because the reason I even found it was I was looking at a flight from my wife and I think it was to go to Vegas, and there was a cheaper flight that had a layover in Denver, Colorado, and it was like 3 hours. And I'm like, damn, what could we get
Long
high as a
enough to
motherfucker
slide.
in Colorado in 3 hours? Come to find out you can. That place will pick you up. And you know what I'm saying? They'll take you to get, to go to the dispensary, get what you need, and then bring you back for your flight on time. And I was like, yo, that's a
That's
great business move. Like,
crazy.
so there's people out here making all types
They
of money. off
they
it.
pick them up in
That's what I'm saying.
sort of like a like a party bus is kind of.
Well,
I seen the
they-
documentary.
They
on
had
it.
different, like you could pick. You can get picked up, and the cheapest one was like getting picked up in like a Suburban. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
that's
a-
probably if it's like one
kinda
or
like
two
a
people.
Uber?
Yeah,
Like a Uber for
nice,
Bud.
like big Suburban, but you know what I mean. That's the cheaper one. Then you can get like the party bus. You could get picked up in like, I mean, all different type of shit, man. That, like you could, depending on what you paid for. You know what I'm saying? They'll pick you up with weed. They'll have it there. Like that shit was pretty dope. It was a smart idea. So
Sounds
like the
crazy.
businesses that pop up from it are crazy. Y'all seen like the bud and breakfast that they do? The
Yeah.
Yes,
that
I've heard
have,
of that.
like, foods that are made with weed, and they, they wake you up like a wake and bake with weed. In
They
the morning.
have a show on Netflix, and it's a show on Netflix where they're literally
I need to
cooking
see
with
that.
marijuana.
What's it called?
Something. Cooking high or something
Cooking
like
High. I need to look.
something
Damn,
like
that's
that.
dope. It's
But
on
they're
Netflix?
literally
I seen
and
it.
it's
I
so
seen it, but I passed it. Yeah,
It's- it's not like I'm not gonna say it's like the best TV show to watch, but it's kind of like a cheaper version of like a Food Network show.
Gotcha.
But what they do is that they'll have like 3 people come on.
Competition.
Yeah, they'll have 2 cooks that know how to cook with marijuana. They'll cook something with marijuana. They'll have 3 people that judge it, that are people that smoke, everyday people that smoke or whatever the case is. And they'll each try the food, and then afterwards they'll rate the food, who's tasted better, which one you couldn't taste the weed in, and then it'll show you, like at the end of the show, it'll show you like the after effects after they ate the food and how high they got from eating the food. It's funny. I like it. I like seeing like what
I'ma
you
check
can
that
make
out,
with marijuana, so it's interesting.
I actually know how to make oils. Like when I used to smoke, and I ended up I was cooking like with my butter, and I was cooking my turkey bacon with it. And my mom comes to the kitchen, and she grabs a piece and she's eating it, and I'm like, should I just tell her or should I?
Oh my god.
And then but I told my mom because I'm afraid because my mom is like very delicate. Like I'm delicate with my mother because she has like asthma. Like she can't even blow out a candle type shit. Like so I was just like I don't know if that's gonna mess with her. I was like, you know what, Mom? You know I put weed in. She was like, started spitting it everywhere. I'm like, oh man, yo.
Cooking with weed.
But it'll be dope to just like
Florida.
be smoke with my mother. Like it'll be kind of dope.
That would be dope. Did you know Florida actually, I believe in Orlando, actually has a weed college? that you can
Orlando
go
does.
to.
Yeah,
It's called a
it's the only one, I
sativa.
think.
Yeah, it's like a
Sativa
sativa
school, yeah.
university or something like that.
It's all about teaching you how to make money off it.
and
Florida?
yeah,
It's in
in
Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, it's the
And
only
actually,
one.
going back to the
I
whole
looked
thing
it
of
up.
it making like jobs and stuff on Indeed, looking through jobs, you'll see that they'll have jobs for sativa university where you could be a bud tender, or
Wow.
the school pretty much just
It's a
teaches
real
you how to
curriculum,
grow
like
it.
they have a-
It teaches you how to grow it. Teaches you how to do edibles. Like it's a whole thing, a whole
Because
college
it's a science,
for that.
so to grow marijuana, it's a science.
to do
Yeah.
it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I actually a friend of a family of mine. They actually moved to Michigan just to do that, just to open up a dispensary, and that's what they do now. They make bread. I heard like is why that's what everybody's saying.
I had a friend of mine who looked into what it would cost and what it would take to do that in Florida. Right now, that shit is fucking damn.
You gotta
near
have
impossible.
millions, right?
Not even that you have to have millions. One of the weirdest requirements that he told me that made it basically impossible was the fact that you have to be a florist for at least 30 years.
What?
You must be, you must have be a florist or
Of course.
a botanist for 30 years.
They're
And
gonna
he said
have.
there's like 9 people in the state of Florida that make that requirement. That's it. So they're the only people qualified to be able to grow weed in the state of Florida.
They're gonna make it impossible right now because right now
that cuts everybody out. I don't care how much money you got.
The only-
Yeah, that
there
cuts
you out.
everybody.
The
Yeah.
only people that are botanists right now, because I remember I was just talking about that in a couple podcasts ago, how that's like an old industry. So there's only older
Oh
folks
yeah, you
that
was talking
be,
about you was gonna be the flower plug.
yeah. So it was just like that's like an old industry. It's like nobody or no young people like us are really looking into being a florist.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's still a good business.
Makes
Like
money, yeah.
it
Very
makes
good.
money.
Definitely. Fred was about to be the flower plug. Though.
Yeah.
Fred said he had the
Still
plug
am.
on the
That's
flowers.
good.
Yo. Fred said he got him for the low.
That's good.
right
to the
something,
neck.
something
Did
different.
you-
You know?
Yeah.
Something different.
Did you actually know that Canada legalized it too?
Yeah.
And all their debt that they had, Canada's debt, completely gone the minute they legalized it.
It was funny. I know a dude that lives in Canada and he hates it. He actually wants to move to America.
What? Why?
Yeah, he hates it.
They got free health.
He's very conservative minded. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like the way Canada is. Like he had
He's
a
77.
You said what?
Is he 77? Like how old is he?
Nah, he's younger than us. He's like 24.
Oh shit! What?
23.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
He just graduated with a degree in chemical engineering. And he explained to me that global warming is not real. And I couldn't refute him because he's fucking intelligent as a motherfucker.
He used all them smart words.
No, he had charts. This nigga got charts. He was sending me charts on Facebook. Charts
great.
of showing me different measurements of the earth and this and this and that. Basically, what I gathered from it, what I could gather was this. His point was, this shit is going to happen. There's nothing we could do about it. An ice age happened, right?
That's the
Right.
Humans didn't cause an ice age. That happened.
You know,
This
that's
is how the
true.
earth is
That
going
is
to
I
be.
didn't
true.
think about that. Yeah.
That's what his
That's
point was,
true.
but he has fucking data to prove it, dog. And he just literally has a degree in chemical engineering. But anyways, he hates Canada.
Speaking of space and science, yo, did we really land on the moon?
I think so. I think so.
Ah.
I think so, yeah. I don't think it's that hard to land on the moon. I think we did it just to do it, and there was no point in it, so we never gone back. There's nothing there.
I used to think so. I used to be like,
That's what
yeah,
I
for
think.
sure, but
So
no,
you
not
believe
so
we
much.
went that one time and it was like, oh, we good. We
Yeah.
don't got to go back no more.
I
What's the reason?
think it was a dick swinging contest between us and Russia.
Yeah.
And we tried to show that we swinging harder, and we did it, and that was that.
I don't know, man. I saw.
There's no point to go back. There was nothing there.
I got deep into the web.
At the
I
end
went
of the
too.
day,
You ever seen
at the end
the-
of the
the
day,
cons-
I feel like we still don't know for sure
Y'all
if
ever
there
seen
was
the one of
nothing
those
there.
There was mad aliens there. That's why we never went back.
Yeah, that's
You
all
ever
that
seen the
one.
pictures
No, I
and
didn't see
shit?
that.
Y'all
I
never
didn't
seen
see
that?
that, nah.
I
Y'all
seen that
gone-
one.
Just trust me, I've gone into it about the whole moon landing.
You heard
I'm
about
a
the Men
whole
in
big
Black?
thing
Like
on
the real Men in
conspiracy
Black?
theories.
Yeah.
That shit is lost.
That shit is lost.
What?
No, but if you
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, that's actually real Men in Black. And then well, that's what they say. It's a conspiracy theory.
I
But,
love conspiracy theories. I will sit here all
another
day and
thing,
watch,
if you look-
especially if after I'm done smoking.
If you look at those moon pictures, they're shadows. They're like, okay, so there's no light hitting the moon, so why is there shadows?
I don't think that's
Like,
true. Which means
that's
there's
weird.
no light. It's not pitch black out there. There's a lot of shit, there's stars and all type of shit out there. The sun is out there, motherfucker, too. You can see the sun from the earth. How you can't see it from the moon?
I don't know. I just got deep into the
I'm
YouTube.
just saying, like, no,
Got a
trust me,
point
I've-
there, too,
I've
though.
heard
Y'all
it
both
too,
got
though.
points.
I've heard it too. Like, I've looked into it, and there was a time where I didn't think it was real, and then I got deeper into it, and then I realized, like, wait a second, it's really not that difficult to get to the moon.
But I was also thinking
We could do it today if we wanted to. There's just no point in it. There's nothing there.
Well, actually, they said we can't.
I don't believe that.
They said that we can't. They said they lost the math or whatever of how to get up.
Really? I need to see that. I never heard that shit.
Yeah.
That makes no
Some
sense.
I don't
crazy
believe
shit.
that.
I swear.
See,
Look
that's
it
what
up.
makes it sound so fishy.
We can't get on the moon today. They said
I
we
don't believe that.
supposedly.
Really? I need to see that
I
one.
swear. Look
That's
at
crazy
today.
to
We
me.
can't get on the moon.
Because I've seen the opposite.
They
I've seen
said-
them say that we could. There's just no point.
No, that we can't. And they said that. And NASA's response to it is that we lost the
No,
coordinates and everything.
That
So we're
makes
not
See
doing
that
it.
thread over there
That makes
watching-
no
I swear,
sense.
man.
Fakenews.com, yeah,
It makes
look on
no
soup.
sense. That's like saying, you know, the person that created the airplane forgot how to make an airplane.
Exactly.
That
That's what
makes
it sounds-
no sense.
That's what makes me question if we ever landed on the moon in the first place. And if you listen to the first guy that landed on the moon, if you listen to him, he said there's a documentary that he says it. He says we never got there. Like
Nah, I
he
never
says
seen
it.
that.
He says it like kind of like by accident. And they rewind
which
it.
one you talking about? This one of them. He got a
Buzz, not Buzz.
Yeah, he's got
Lightyear.
like a name like
yeah,
that though, right?
Yeah,
See,
Buzz
I've seen
Aldrin.
Yeah, something like that. Something
Yeah.
like that. Exactly. I seen him. He punched a dude in the face. Dude ran down on him and was like, "Did you land on the moon? Swear on this Bible you land on the moon." And he just swung on him, bro.
For real?
Bro, punched him dead in his shit.
Yeah.
Like, get out
Oh
my
my
face,
God.
bro.
That's nuts.
Yeah, he
There
was
are
dead
videos.
He probably
serious
got
about
away with that shit too. He landed on the moon. You can't tell me nothing.
America, bitch, what you mean?
I risk everything.
Yeah, they ain't gonna say nothing to him. I don't know. I think we did. I don't know. I don't see what's the point in faking it.
Now y'all got me questioning life. Shit.
Y'all
True.
believe in aliens?
Yeah, absolutely. You trying to tell me that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Even the
Of
Bible
course.
says
What about Bigfoot?
A Bigfoot. There might have at one point there might have been a Bigfoot, and I feel like we killed them off, all of them.
I believe in Bigfoot. I seen that nigga. I know that nigga.
I feel like there was a Bigfoot at one time, and we made him extinct.
I'm trying to think of some more conspiracy theories. What about John F. Kennedy? I don't think he died. You ever heard the Chicago mob story of how he died?
Yeah,
That's pretty dope. You never heard that? The mob was so deep that they got him elected.
his
You know
brother,
what I'm saying?
his I think it's his older brother, his father was like real deep in the mob and selling drugs and all that stuff.
From what I don't know if it was that the case. From what I heard is that he just helped them out politically.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He
yeah.
did things and passed laws for
Yeah.
them and did things that kept them from getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And they got JFK elected because they were so deep. They got everybody to vote for him, and because he was supposed to do certain things, and then he immediately did the opposite.
Yeah,
So they offed him.
it was like it was like the father or the brother was like the guy. He was like, I'm gonna do the dirty stuff. You guys are gonna stay with the clean stuff. You guys
Yeah.
go political. That's kind of like the behind the scenes. Yo,
That's crazy.
JFK is a legend, bro. He was doing fucking
Marilyn Monroe.
Monroe in
Yeah,
the basement,
yeah,
son. Son.
Bill Clinton ain't got nothing on JFK. What y'all mean, though?
Judge.
To be honest, Monica was a dub, mama. To be
Yeah.
honest, she really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, nah, not at all. But no, I'm trying to think what other conspiracy theories is out. Because I be on them shits, yo. Aliens are a big one to me.
That
I actually
one-
recently seen a
yes.
Netflix documentary about this guy who, he's got so much documentation. Like, you know how usually when you see like a UFO video, it's terrible, right? Like you can't really see.
All them shits is
Yo,
whack.
this guy had 30 or 40 something different on video UFO sightings, like pretty good quality. Zooming in, he's talking on it. Like, do y'all see this? Do you see what I'm showing you? Like, you know what I'm
he's
saying?
dead today.
Yo, no, he's alive.
Oh, he's alive.
He's got some shit that looks fake as fuck though, like real aliens on
nah.
camera. Like,
Lot of
it looks like a doll though. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's crazy, but he was wild. He had some shit. It's on Netflix too. He's got it all documented. He talks about how he got abducted, and he come to find out that he's been abducted more than once, and they used him to make babies on another planet with some other lady.
Sounds like
it gets
comic
wild. It gets wild. Yo, it gets wild.
There
yeah.
was I was watching something about the pyramids too. They were saying like about how the
That's another
pyramids.
good one. What you need, brother?
They're talking
Young Rev
about
in the building.
Young Rev in the building.
Yeah. He need a charger. What you trying to rip out?
You're all in the camera
You good?
camera view
It's all
right
good,
now.
Messing it all up
Not
over
quiet
there.
right now.
So, do you guys believe that America has a book of secrets?
I
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
And how do you guys think the founding fathers started?
slavery.
Because there's actually a whole documentary on Netflix as well
I need
that
to see
talks
that.
about this whole thing with the
What do you
founding
mean, how
fathers,
they
the
started?
books, all that.
Like how they came together to be.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about this topic. I gotta have to give it to her. She's the one that's seen the documentary and the show on Netflix. So there's actually one right over here.
No, just get on.
Oh yeah,
There you
just
go.
jump on that one. So tell me real quick.
Well, the founding fathers just
Get on
basically-
Talk to,
On the mic.
onto the
Oh.
mic. Yeah,
Y'all can hear me?
yeah.
Well, the founding fathers started off with George Washington, the first president.
Yeah.
They started off with that. And he basically started off the Book of Secrets on Area 51, all these secret stuff that we don't know about, what's
Mhm.
going on in the world. And it's actually a documentary on Hulu that's actually called America's Book of Secrets.
Oh, my
And it
fault.
actually-
My fault.
And it actually talks about how Area 51 became, and actually talks about if there was...
Wait, from way back then though, from
Yes,
George
from-
Washington.
from
Yeah, like,
back
this
in the
is
days
a-
all the way
That's
till
crazy. I
now.
never heard
The
that.
show, the pretty much
need
the
to look.
show's basis is pretty much showing you how like the start of the government started pretty much very corrupt,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yeah, I
showing
know
you
that,
stuff
yeah.
that you wouldn't necessarily know of unless you
Yeah, see, I
know
never
researched
heard
it
of,
that
like,
deep.
Alien shit back then in the government. That's dope.
Because they keep it on the down low.
Yeah, I like to hear
In
that.
Area
They got a book
51.
of secrets.
Yeah, see, I've heard of a lot of, and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. Like even one that was pretty crazy. It was this guy, and it was very convincing because he had all these stories and all this different things about him being in the military, and then he says because he comes out and talks about it, they wiped him out. So he's got no social security number. When you look up, he's never been in the military, but yet he has proof that he was in the military. He even has like with the job that he worked there, they put out like a monthly newspaper, you know what I'm saying, for the job. And he was on the softball team, and he has that magazine, old ass magazine with the date, his name on the softball team for that company. You call that company, he never worked there. He never exists. He doesn't exist in
That's
America.
crazy.
It was wild.
What?
He goes into detail about seeing UFOs at Area 51, the technology that we got from aliens. He said bulletproof vest, laser beams, like the little laser beam lights from the dollar store and shit you see.
Yeah.
He said we got that technology from aliens.
And that's what the
like,
hell
shit,
they're
the way
using it
to
for.
search
Microchips, how we were able to shrink microchips, make them much
Yeah.
smaller now.
Yeah.
He said that was from aliens. All type of shit. Yeah, he goes
Like-
into detail about all the different
believe
technology we
it.
got from them.
What about the Egyptians?
Yeah,
Ancient
I was just about to talk about
That's
that.
another one.
It's like they can't explain about how those pyramids were actually built.
Exactly.
I don't think
there's
Egyptians
no
did it.
way.
I'm sorry, man. I just
It had to be aliens. It had to be
That's-
aliens.
how did they do that back then?
Exactly.
And never
with
did
no
anything else?
technology.
With
Yeah.
no heavy machinery, no
Yeah.
No
cranes.
technology, no nothing.
Don't
no.
tell me slaves did that.
No,
It'll
they-
take thousands of years. to-
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts
that's
with
what I'm
how with
saying.
how high
Yeah.
with how high that those pyramids go, with how
Exactly.
tall that they are,
I mean, I've seen
the material they're made of for them to last so
they
long.
even placed they even placed the pyramids in a certain spot of the
Exactly.
earth where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
perfect.
And the thing
How
is,
they
like,
know that
if
back
you,
then?
If you ever
Exactly.
build shit, like
Correct.
if you've ever built anything, it is important. Measurements are so important, down to like you can get very specific with it, but down to the inch, one half of an inch, like all the way down. And those pyramids are so exactly
Perfect.
built.
Yeah.
It is crazy when you measure them out.
Exactly.
It is unreal how centered they are.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
only
with
that-
no tools. That shit is nuts.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
really
Like,
crazy. to me.
That's what solidified my belief in aliens when I started studying Kemetic, which is the study of ancient Egypt. When I was into that before.
Yeah, I remember you were into that. Yeah.
Yeah, then I found out, blood test, I'm not Egyptian. So,
That's
I
funny.
mean, well, most of the woke people follow Kemetic, which is a cool, it's a cool base for spirituality. They believe in Ma'at or Mayat, everything in balance and reciprocity and things like that, and positive affirmations and higher energy, lower energy, things like that. But,
Shout out to 23andMe though. Is that the test you took?
No, it was My Heritage. Yeah.
Oh, your
found
My
out
Heritage.
I was
Okay.
Yo,
Nigerian, and then I wanted to study what
okay.
would
See,
be.
I wanna do that.
That's always been
Nigeria's
my
I'm like a
dope.
super mutt,
the
so
smartest.
Do you know
African immigrants?
which night? Because isn't Nigeria split in two with two different type of Nigerians? Like with the
There's the Igbo and the
Igbo
Yoruba.
and yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know if I'm Igbo or Yoruba,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm learning Yoruba, and I do. I practice Yoruba cultures and speak the language. I pray in Nigerian
That's what's
and
up.
English. There's words.
Trying to learn it. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean that's like the biggest. I feel like the biggest head nod to my ancestors because like the language I'm speaking now is not mine. It's not my mother's.
And that's a
tongue.
big deal, man.
That's-
I feel like
that's true.
You know.
not just get on because we just be going all around.
No. Let's get into it.
But nah, real. In all
That
seriousness,
actually goes into
yeah.
what he does actually for a living as far as health, because they say we was just talking about that on the other podcast about how on 23andMe is actually building it around a like a health program to where certain people from where they're
you're
from,
it'll go by where you're from
and
yeah.
what you
We
should
talked
eat.
about that.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
My people are near the equator, so it's just
Exactly.
like we're used to eating fruits and vegetables and things like that.
And it's because we talked about it, and I'll just bring it up real quick. That like, okay, you found out you're Nigerian. If you go to Nigeria, I bet your skin will start feeling better.
yeah,
Your body, your mind.
I bathe with African
You
soap.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's that deep. I bathe. I only
Yeah.
bathe with African
But I mean,
soap.
just being in your where you're supposed to
In my
be,
element.
like,
Your
You know,
climate,
and
the
vice
climate,
versa.
all
When
that.
like people who come here, who immigrate here and aren't from here, different things. Like people come here and they might start breaking out. On
Exactly.
their face, and
like
they've never
yeah,
experienced that.
when I use soaps, like regular soaps, my skin breaks out. But I have to use African soap. If I don't, my skin will break out. And I never understood why I love plantain so much. But in Nigeria, that's like everybody loves
Yeah.
plantain.
That's
in
where it came
Nigeria.
from.
So it's just like I'm like, oh, that's why I like this food. So that's my favorite food.
But yeah,
fried
nah,
plantains.
Right.
it's a big deal, man. That a lot of African Americans or just people, black people in America don't know where they're from.
Exactly.
Or
I
whether
always,
people are from.
I always
Exactly.
wanted to know.
They
and there
don't know
was
they
no
have a language. They
I'm
have a
asking
flag.
my grandma. Nobody knows.
Yeah,
And there's
your
no
grandma's
answers.
from wherever you grew up at.
Exactly.
Usually, you know,
Georgia,
you don't know.
You know, so
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like,
My grandma from South Carolina or something like. You really don't know.
I want to be able to, when I have a child, I want to be able to tell them exactly where it comes from. And,
But that right
you
was
know.
taken from them. Is the bad. That's the
Exactly.
sad part
So-
about it. You know what I'm saying?
And my
It's-
other
it's
question
hard to-
was, I know that Christianity was given to us literally through slavery. So it's just like
It's a way to suppress us and
when I decided to walk away from that based on the history and how it was presented to us, I wanted to get back in touch with what would I be doing if they never would have came over and did the abduction.
But now, so what do you say about the people who are Christians in Africa?
That's whatever floats your boat. If that's what you feel, if that's your spiritual path, that's for you. But it just wasn't for
like,
me.
I mean, I totally understand the argument, and I don't think there's anybody who can refute the argument that Christianity was used in slavery. Like, there's just no way around it. It was.
That's how they gave it. They forced this.
Yeah,
the whole Toby scene. That's what that's about.
It really is. Yeah, it was for. I mean, there's just no way around.
My
that.
name is Kunta.
But I mean, is it? What I guess my thing is, there's also people who will say yes, that is true, but that doesn't mean that the religion is is negative or that the religion should be looked at in a different way. It was just people who used it that way at that time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like it's just how it was used in that era.
Absolutely.
You know
But
what I'm
I
saying?
also look at it because it's like, okay, you have to look at the people who brought it to you. It was, I don't want to say it was made for them, but it was that.
they manipulated it.
Yeah, it was built in favor towards whatever culture, that Roman culture, wherever it came from.
Right.
And they transplanted it, and they're still doing it through other countries. And they're transplanting their mindset, their cultures, their way of thinking, their lifestyle within the religion. That's how they slip in their culture.
It's like how they say, like Jesus. They have how they have him in
Exactly.
pictures of blonde hair, blue eyes.
Exactly.
But in the Bible, it shows that
it
he has
says he's
coarse
got,
hair.
wool hair like wool.
Like
And that's something I never understood, and nobody explained that to me when I was growing up. But then when I, started reading the Bible for myself and started to teach myself, and I started realizing I didn't even know where, the stories of the Bible took place. That took place in Africa, technically, North Africa.
Middle East, yeah.
So it's like
Egypt.
the Middle East
Africa,
the
North
Middle
Africa.
East ain't nothing but North Africa.
Yeah,
and I didn't
exactly.
even know that Egypt was in Africa till I started studying Comedicism.
Africa, yep.
I'm like, that's North Africa. So it's just like,
Yeah. I'm lucky enough to say I was raised in a Christian household for the most part, but my father always told me, like, the images you see, that's not what he looks like.
I was never told that.
Yeah, like I was pretty. I remember
A-Rap.
even when I was young in the church that I had went to, a guy in the church who had he had told us, like, basically the Bible is based out of the Middle East. People in the Middle East don't look like that. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So
Yeah,
think of it
exactly.
as people who look like
Nobody
more
stopped.
like me, kind of
Exactly.
my color.
Nobody stopped to think
dark,
about
yeah, like that's kind of more what you would think they would look like. Not that it matters at all what they look like, but that's probably what they look like. It's more of a darker skinned Middle Eastern people.
My cousin actually, he's a pastor. He owns this beautiful church, man. This thing looks like a club. Let me tell you, the thing, the way he has the lights and everything.
Yeah.
But when he first had his church, is something that sticks out to me is that there was the cross in the church. He was renting out this church, and there was this cross, and it had the blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus. And I mean, my cousin's he's white basically, like he's Latino, but he's white. He looked at. He was like, "That's not how Jesus looked." He was just like, "Yo, take that down. We're taking that down," because he was renting the church out.
Oh, okay.
The owner of the church had a bigger church. He was renting a smaller church to him. He said, "Yo, take that cross down. Everything. We taking that out of here because it's not true. It's really not true." And this is coming from a man that looks like that Jesus that's on the cross, but he knows he's being real. So he's like, Jesus don't look like that. You know what I'm saying?
It was just
it makes him feel comfortable praying to something that looks like you.
Yeah.
You know,
And
that's why,
true, though.
that's why we're consumed with the fact that God is a man. Who said God was a man? Besides one book. When you read other books, you'll realize that that higher power kind of takes on a feminine energy. And then when you study Comedicism, they dealt with a lot of feminine energy.
Yeah.
So, and they believe that, God is a woman.
Look at Cleopatra.
If you
You
look-
saw how they looked at Cleopatra?
I think all religions kind of say the same thing
Yeah.
in reality.
Even
Just
in the
different
Bible,
words.
the temperament of
Yeah.
God in the Bible is like a woman.
I
Jealous,
yeah,
moody.
yeah, you're right.
You look this way.
Oh,
You don't look that way.
Yeah.
bars.
Ain't nobody else but me.
I didn't think
Come
about that.
on.
Press and
No,
bars.
it makes
Ain't no-
sense
ain't no
though.
other-
but
ain't no-
if you
ain't no
think
other
about
than
it,
me.
when you think
That's
of
like a woman.
Yeah.
when
No,
you think
for
of
real.
when you think of a
That's a
woman,
good
what do you
point.
think of? When you think of a woman, what do you think of? You think of somebody who creates. They create life. They
create,
create. They're a creator. In other words, in other sense.
Now that-
So
now
you
I'm sorry
compare
to
that
interrupt
to
you,
the
go ahead.
whole. You compare that to God and all that stuff. It's the same.
Now that you
It's
think
pretty
about
much the
it,
same thing.
God be playing games
A-
too, and only
A,
women.
Like a
woman.
woman.
We talked about that
I'm
before.
dead.
Be like, oh, sometimes
You kind of petty sometimes,
yeah,
right?
I be
Like, yo,
I see why you did that, but why
Okay.
couldn't you do it this way though?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The characteristics
man.
are too feminine, like for me to believe that God is a man.
I feel you on that.
Like I said, women are creator. God created.
Absolutely,
So-
that's something that I come to through study, through other books, because most of the time people just read the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, but the B is basic. That's where you're supposed to start. Build on that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Don't just stay at the basics. Build on that knowledge. So
Right.
read other books. I tell people, okay, you could be a Christian, you could be whatever. Be secure in yourself and your beliefs to read another book.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
and that other
Very
book
true.
might make more sense to you, and you might find this book has a lot of gaps that just don't
Or,
connect.
or even so, try to look at it in a different perspective.
Exactly. It'll give
because
you different
the
perspective.
Bible, you go to church, the pastor is going to preach the Bible the way he interprets it.
That's why I don't go
not
to
the
church
way
anymore.
it should be
Exactly.
interpreted.
Yeah.
He's going to do it the way he sees fit, the
People
way
look at you
he
crazy, like, well,
understands
you don't go to
it.
church. That's what I say. I'm like, okay, when we can all read a sentence, the same sentence, and we're gonna get different
Five
things out of
different.
that.
You're going to get 5 different
But
meanings for that same sentence.
When you go to
Yep.
church and you're up under a pastor and you're up under his tutelage and his comprehension, it's kind of like you're letting that man control your mind,
Control
and the way
how
that
you
you
see
think,
it, yep.
and control your perspective and how you view life. Putting yourself in a box. Religion puts you in a box.
Earlier, a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, probably a month and a half ago. What do you think about that pastor? I think it was down in Atlanta or something like that. He kicked out a transgender.
Oh, they've been doing that. They've been doing that.
Like,
for
dude,
years.
out of the church. Like, just kicked him out. Just said, "What are you
It's
doing?"
not
Honest
right.
with you, dog. Listen, if you really,
Because it went against the
Yeah.
text. You know,
if
you're
you
not
read the
supposed
Bible,
to.
if you really read it, and people can say what they want. There's a lot of different verses in the Bible. You can pick a verse in that. If you read the entire book, it's against the belief. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can bring them in, and I don't think you should kick them out so long as maybe they're looking for guidance in the right way. You know what I mean? But I mean, I wouldn't blame a pastor for saying I'm not even gonna deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
It's
his
against his
church.
belief.
That's his.
Like,
I don't want to say his business, but basically, you know,
is.
It is his business.
it's your business.
It
You-
is
you,
his
you
business.
do as you please, and at the it
You
does go
right.
against the beliefs.
You're right,
It
but
is what it is.
it's crazy how it's a belief that, you know, you're supposed to be accepted, this, that, and the third, but you go to a church to kind of take on that religion that everyone's so, you know, thing about shoving down people's throats. You actually take up the time, you know, okay, I'm going to go to church. I'm actually going to, you know, look for Jesus. And then that happens where you get kicked out. That's not going to make anybody want to follow that religion.
Yeah.
That person's going to be like, you know what, y'all kicked me out. I was trying to, you know,
Because they're forcing
follow by your
to
religion.
conform to the culture.
Yeah.
It comes back to what I said earlier, where that religion comes from a certain area, and with that religion comes along the cultures and the customs. And when you're pushing that religion, just like Islam, you know, no matter where in the country is practiced, that vibe comes from a certain place, and everybody who practices that religion has a certain vibe about them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
like
because
speaking of
that.
Islam or Muslims, you know what I mean? There's the black Muslims. You can't be white and go there.
That's crazy.
So how, you know what I mean? How is that looked at? I mean, it's like people say, you know, Christianity is used, I guess, to put black people down. Okay, well, that's kind of what raised the black Muslims and Nation of Islam.
That's more American. American Islams are kind of like that, like where they kind of.
Well, I just mean like the Nation of Islam, the Fruit of Islam, the FOI. How it was raised up was literally the guy who started it, Farad Muhammad or something like that, who went around and literally what he did was took a Bible and went to these hoods in Chicago and all these places and showed everybody why the Bible isn't for black people and how the Bible is racist and, you know, how all these things in the Bible were used to oppress black people, and then pulled out the Quran and was like, this is what we need to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And literally to this day, you cannot, well, they don't allow white people in the Fruit of Islam. You cannot be white. Never. When Malcolm X left the Fruit of Islam, and when he started his own thing, the white people weren't accepted. Like, they weren't allowed, you know, to be in the religion. I don't see people making an uprising about that. A white man can't walk into that church.
Separation, that's something I don't
So
believe in.
I mean, my point is this, though. In saying that, a transgender person walks into a church and gets kicked out, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
A white man walks in. If a white man walked into that church, he's getting kicked out. Does anybody give a fuck?
No,
No.
we don't. Just to be honest, we don't. That's crazy.
A white man can't go to that church. A white woman, you're not allowed to be a part of that religion.
I feel like society feels like the white man has done so much.
White people.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, I was kind of like waiting for somebody else to like open that door, because you know I don't want to like just be opening that door right now. But since you said it, I'll elaborate on it. Yeah, like pretty much, I feel like in today's time, it's the trend to go against the straight white male. That's everyone's enemy right
I
now.
mean, this was started long before today's time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even long before today's time, most people's enemy, quote unquote, has been not just
In
the
America.
white man, the straight white male.
Very true.
It's the straight white male. That's why, you know, the Black Lives Matter, the LGBTQ, everybody, feminists, you all have the same quote unquote enemy, the straight white male.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's take a break, y'all.
Done?
Yeah, let's take a break.
All right.
I need to fill up this drink.
Let's do it.
I'm
Let's
like
do it. We'll
licking
be
the
back.
cup inside and shit.
Yeah. Hold up. You be talking that bullshit, but you ain't even blow up. You need to grow up. Hating on a nigga that be giving no fucks. Ever since I left, I've been making more bucks. Ever since my ex, I've been getting more gut, more butt. Type of nigga that can make these bad bitches go nuts. Man, fuck the ones who lied on me, saying singing niggas can't spit. Head to the crib and I'm bringing a bitch. So she really love it when I sing it like this. Young mixed nigga raising the ace. Better never let a day go to waste. I be getting to the checks, boy. Don't be worried about my neck.
Wake up the cake up and I'm on my way up this life elevator. The night like a layup and we do not lay up and I cannot chase it right now. It's the paper, the liquor, 12:30, get straight to the point. Live for the moment, you know where we going. She turned to an ocean that rode like a robot. Murder, she wrote it, I did it. That birthday suit turned straight into business.
They watching, I know they watching.
This shit must see TV.
They watching.
Shine,
All eyes on me.
shine.
She wanna
all eyes on me. I know it's cliche, but niggas ain't really with the shit these days. I bet they all cheapskates. I tip her, never see a line, I'm a tipper. Always on time, I deliver. I bet they always be late, bet they looking for a free play. I supply the feast, inviting all my niggas, time to eat. The professor teach a lesson, tell you drink your find a seat. Know I got the green, who got a leaf. Call a breath, tell my nigga time to preach. Man, fuck the game, ain't playing here. No poker face, I'ma make it clear. Money talk, I go straight to the bank with it. Roll it up, I go straight to the face with it.
Free church, do your research. Back at it like 4-5. Move like 23 first. My mood like let the cash talk. Less convo. And he had the best combo. Let them talk while we win more. Pray hard while we sin more. Perfect picnics don't exist if I offend y'all. If there was only pure souls on this boulevard, preacher would have a job. Too cold for a broken heart. It's no facade, one shot, then it's no resort. They say they watching. Well, I hope they all don't wanna miss nothing. My rib missing, but my miss got life. And if she lose that, then I'ma kill something. Working for the last name, past pain, now we toast up. I'm on Brown J. Roll up.
They watching, I know they watching. They watching, all eyes on me. She wanna get it poppin' with me. They wanna make profit with me. She wanna get it poppin' with me. They won't make profit with me.
They're thinking of it like, yeah.
My demons.
You recorded? Oh, you took it off?
I don't get it. The last video, it did 5 minutes and then stopped.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what the fuck's wrong with this thing.
Oh, fuck it.
Got you.
Fuck it. We'll take some pictures of this motherfucker. So we back once again.
Yes, sir.
Third segment. People reaching goals.
New Year special, baby.
New Year special. You know. Hey, it's lit. We got coquito.
That shit was wild annoying.
We got drinks.
That shit annoyed me.
Especially for the one sitting next to you.
Yeah. We here, New Year's edition special. You know what I'm saying? We talking health. We talking fitness. With Travon, the creator. We talking businesses. We talking aliens.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other random
All that
shit.
good
You know
stuff.
how we do.
Anything you can
Right before
think
we got
of.
off, he was talking about poison in our food.
Yo, so let me get this straight. All right. So they poison our air, right? Chemtrails. They poison our water with fluoride and different things. They poison all our food. Vegetables are poisoned.
Right.
If you're not eating organic foods, it's poisoned, right?
You notice, not to cut you off, but you notice how everybody's sort of kind of turning vegan now, and all of a sudden all the vegetables are starting to get poisoned now.
GMOs.
We can't even eat lettuce now because it's like salmonella.
The romaine lettuce just had a recall.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, our toothpaste is poisoned.
Yeah, you have
what
to
the fuck
get
else is poisoned?
fluoride-free toothpaste.
Everything. Our water, our food, our air. So what the fuck is the point? I mean,
It's called live your best life and do what you please.
Is poison to me. The water that I take a bath in, and I can't do nothing about that, is poison to me.
Yeah, it has fluoride in it. But
What the fuck?
you know, I mean, she
Live
said
your
she
best
mentioned
life.
the third eye earlier, and it's just like that's another thing that I, through studying comedicism, fluoride calcifies the third eye, the pineal gland. So it's like and there's a high fluoride content in meat. So it's just like that's why I go, and I said, oh damn, the Egyptians were vegetarian, but why? It's a high there's a high fluoride content in meat.
And you know, I think it's more. I mean, I've seen a lot of that, like ancient cultures that were vegan or vegetarian. I don't think it was for health. I think it was more just the times. What can you do with meat? It goes rancid so fast.
That too.
You know what I mean?
I'm like part Maasai. Then I started studying the Maasai warriors and stuff like that. And
I'm not sure who the Maasai.
They're like one of the most famous like
From where?
From Kenya.
Okay.
You know, they're like more so that way. But they survive off of cow blood and milk. But they don't kill the cow. They nurture it, and they know how to strike it in the neck so that it leaks blood but keeps it alive.
That's crazy.
So it gets its protein. They get their protein from its blood,
Yeah.
but they don't actually kill the cow and eat the meat.
Okay.
They drink its milk and
That's
its
wild.
blood.
I have a question. I want to get y'all opinion on it because
Yes.
talking about this made me think of it. You know, they say that you only use 10% of your brain.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe eating meat and all the fluoride stuff that we have may be a cause
less.
as to why
Absolutely.
we're only
That-
using
that's why-
10%
that's
of
why I
our
said
brain?
When I stopped eating meat and when I started
Your mind cleared.
drinking spring water and purified water,
Mm-hmm.
I instantly got smarter. There's not a day that I wake up where I don't know what to do, where I don't feel lost anymore. You know,
True.
that's what I'm saying. I'll just wake up and I'll be like, I'll be full of just so much life and ideas that I be trying to put other people on to business ideas. It just comes to me.
Right.
I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. It's just like downloaded. It's just crazy. It's just too much sometimes. It's very
Because
overwhelming.
maybe if you put it in a sense that way, like maybe people want to, you know, try to be vegan or go vegan.
Yeah, that's why, you know, that's why I'm glad Keem had me on
That's
the
crazy.
podcast, because it's like, I'm not the typical vegan. I didn't go vegan for my health. I didn't go
Right.
vegan
Yeah.
because I love animals or the environment or anything like that. None of that stuff interests me at all.
And the reason you
So-
did it was it makes actually a lot of
through
sense. Mm-hmm.
studying Comedicism, I see you wearing the Ankh, both of y'all, you know, the Eye of Horus and the Ankh. I got my Ankh too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody. But yeah, that's I'm a firm believer in that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what led me to where I'm at right now.
Right.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I'm going to 2019 looking at everything. different, man.
Right?
For real,
If y'all
man.
listening, I
That's
hope
the way
you
to
change
do
yours.
it. That's the way to do it.
Yo, yo,
Different points of
I
view,
thought you was
man.
gonna come in here and just talk about training. no, man.
That's why
that's
I
You done
invited
opened-
him on the show.
Yeah.
Opened up
because,
all our eyes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a different perspective on a lot of things, and it's good for people to hear that, man. Because
It's good to hear a different perspective. You're not used to hearing different perspective. You're used to
appreciate
hearing the
That's my
same
biggest
thing
thing.
over and over again. So hearing something different out of left field
especially
kind
with
of makes
today's
people
world,
realize.
you gotta think the way our social medias are set up. The algorithm is set up to where you see what they want you to see, but they
Exactly.
know you like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The people
Exactly.
you follow, even in the friends you have, you can have 1,000 friends and you're gonna see the same 50, 60 people because it knows those are
Exactly.
the people you interact with. So it's gonna show you
Yeah.
them. So we living in a world where it really just showing us, you know, it's making us think that the whole world thinks like us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the biggest thing I want with this podcast is for people to be able to see all different points of views. People need to be able to see things from every different way. You know what I'm saying? You be able to understand that you can disagree with somebody and still be able to be
Exactly.
cool with them and still
Exactly.
talk to them
Exactly.
on a different level. You know what I mean? Because nowadays, people will not be your friend because of who you voted for or because of the type of music.
exactly.
Like, it's something
Exactly,
stupid.
and
Like,
that's
people
the
sensitive
dumbest thing
nowadays,
ever.
you know what I'm
And it was
saying?
like him.
Oh, that's the most
He-
annoying thing ever.
He was even reading Satan like stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Satan-
saying
just to know-
Satanism,
yeah,
just to
just
read
to
it.
just to
know-
read and
just to
see
know
how they
into it.
think.
And there's actually like one thing that I actually like in it that I actually
and what is
apply in my life, and it's like, don't share information with people unless they ask you.
That's real.
Withhold it, and I'm just
That's
like, yo,
true.
I got something from Satanism
Yeah.
that held me something
that's the
positive.
beauty.
Yeah.
Cool.
There's
You
always
know what
light
I
in the
mean?
darkness, man.
And that's
There's-
why
Exactly.
I said almost all religions, pretty much all religions to me, especially the main religions, they all say the same thing. Whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Hindu, but they all preach like love,
Yeah.
unity. Every religion is going to tell you to be with one woman and your whole life. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
yeah,
you should
yeah.
you be with one person your whole life, and they all preach kind of all the same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same thing.
That's a Western way of thinking monogamy too, because in Africa you could and
Yeah, that's true.
Islam,
though.
you could- you got many
yeah,
wives.
yeah, it is a Western, a newer
and
Western
Comedicism.
civilization.
You
That's
could
true.
have many
And
wives.
Native Americans didn't believe in monogamy, and they even had as far as for the women too. I read recently a whole thing where he talked about basically a woman gets pregnant and she can still sleep with other men. Let's say she sleeps with 3 or 4 dudes while she's pregnant. Now they're all considered a father of that child when it's born. So now when that father's born, it has a whole family around it of men and the mom that take care of this child, and they're brought up that way. And they were asked, this Native American, this is a living Native American of this day, is asked about this culture that they grew up in. And he's like, well, isn't that like jealousy? And he's like, we don't have that. Like, we never there's no such thing as jealousy in them. They look at it as a family unit. You know what I'm saying? So monogamy is not, to them. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't exist. You know what I mean? And it goes for men and women. You know, they can be with who they want, and I guess the more people, it's more of a family, and it's a stronger hold. You know what I'm saying?
That's
how they
the
look at it.
basis of polygamy. But it's just like most people, a lot of women say, you know,
sexualize it.
How come, you know,
Yeah,
it can't? I
Mm-hmm.
want multiple men, but at the same time, what a lot of women don't understand about their body is that the vagina, it molds and it shapes to the form of the penis.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having multiple penises inside of you, then you know, it's mixing energies, and your body is having a hard time.
And I believe in that too. That's another thing. And the people that you sleep with, you can attract that soul, that energy, and people will be tied to somebody through that.
Soul ties.
Absolutely.
Soul ties.
Exactly is what it's called.
Soul ties.
That's what people call it. Soul ties.
I believe in
into
all
that.
of that.
I do believe in that.
Believe in all of
And
that.
you can definitely get a soul tie to an energy you don't want. And that's definitely that's why they tell you be careful who you sleep with. Be careful.
And see, that's why
who
I think
you
it goes
allow.
back to religions, and that's why they tell you to be with one person. In your life, you know what I'm saying? I do truly think that is the right way to go. Like I'll never knock somebody, a man especially, or I don't care if you're a 40-year-old virgin. I salute you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's real. That's how you're supposed to be. That's how. And I don't care what religion you are. That's the way you're supposed to be, though.
That's something that's not important. That's something me personally, I never valued that.
Yeah, it should.
You know, sleeping with a whole bunch of different women.
I did at one point.
I was off the porch before I even lost my virginity.
Yeah,
I was already out there. Before I even lost my virginity. That's something that's never been.
See, I valued that. There was a point in my life where I did value that. I felt like, you know what I'm saying, the more women you sleep with, or the more women you can attract, it means something.
That's what environment.
That's because society has made you believe.
That's like me when I was a kid. I'm gonna be honest. I grew up with nothing but women in my household because my dad was in prison and all that. And I was always taught by the women, like, yo, treat women right, blah, blah, blah. And I remember it was off for one. I'm not blaming my father for this one visit, but I remember it was one visit, and I was in there with my older brother, and I was just like, they were talking about women, and I was like, as a kid, I remember telling them I will only be with one woman, and they tell me. They were looking at me like they frowned upon it. Like, they're like, what? No, you're supposed to have a whole bunch of women. Like, it was just like, you're going to see when you get older, you're going to see. And that kind of stuck in my head.
I definitely feel you. People used to like kind of make fun of me like, oh, he's feminine. Or he must be gay.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Or like when you go to school, your first day of school, what did they ask you? How many girlfriends you got?
Yeah.
You don't. I'm not going to tell my son that. I can't. I'm not going to tell my son that, man. I can't.
Let me tell you something. I got an 11-year-old. Okay, shit is real out here. These kids is on it. All right, you got to talk to them early. But I was the same way. Like, you know what I mean. But it came from when I had an urge or when I was young and something like that. You get saluted for that. You know what I mean. You do like,
but men do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Men do.
Females get bashed for it. Females get bashed
when they get hot in their pants, they get bashed for it. But when we get hot in our pants, it makes us a man.
Listen.
And nowadays women are fighting for their rights to actually.
I'm all for it.
Be able to say something.
I say I'm a feminist.
They want to brag too.
I'm not gonna front, bro. I learned and I do feel for like the double standard for that, like where women don't have that right. I do feel like that's wrong, dog. Like I don't think there's any way.
It is.
It's her body.
It is.
Like the same way we be out here wilding when we single, women can do what the fuck she want to do.
Especially coming from somebody like, okay, so I'm gay. My mom knows that. You know, everybody knows that. I'm very open about it. I don't hide it. Whatever the case is. I'm also very open about talking about random stuff. Like, as you can see, I don't mind talking about sex. I'll sit here and talk about vagina. I'll sit here and talk about everything under the sun from A to Z, and I don't care. Like, it doesn't, at the end of the day, I see it as I'm able to talk about what I want. It doesn't define who I am. It doesn't mean I respect myself any less because I decided to talk about a topic that's a normal adult topic that anybody on a regular basis will talk about. And, you know, Facebook is a funny place to be posting stuff like that. Yeah. Freddie be posting stuff like that. I be posting stupid stuff like that all the time. And then my mom hit me up the other day in my DMs talking about, why are you always posting stuff like this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Like that does that. Yeah, you do just a little bit. Just a little bit. But
funny though.
So she was pretty much just saying, like, that's not a good look for you. Why are you doing that? I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, that makes no sense. So because if a stud were to do it,
Yeah.
if she were to do it, nobody would find any problem with it. She's still a female. Just because she dresses like a guy, you're not
That's
thinking
real,
of
though.
it. You're not thinking of it.
You hit that?
Facts.
You hit that? Oh.
Exactly.
Man, listen, stuff
Exactly.
credit. Like,
Yeah,
you know who the hoes
yeah.
at? You know what I mean? Like, that's how you
Exactly.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Exactly.
That's the truth, though.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let
That's
a
the homie.
let a girl
Yeah, yeah,
let
they
a
get
girly
treated
girl
like the
do it.
homie.
Exactly. But let a girly girl do it, or a more feminine female do it, and it's now all of a sudden it's not a good look. Like that makes no sense. At the end of the day,
It doesn't make
I
sense.
still should be able to talk about an adult topic. It's an adult topic. We're all adults here. I shouldn't be able to be judged off
But
of
even
talking
deeper
about
than that, not
unless
even
I'm
just
sitting
talking
here.
about it.
Unless I'm sitting here posting on Facebook saying how badly I want it, and people hit me in my DMs because I want. Then that's
even
different.
if you do post, that's you. That's how you feel.
You're right. At the end of the
Facebook
day.
asks you what is on your mind. If all,
always
you
said that, yeah.
Right.
What's on your mind?
Preach it.
Damn, I
how do you feel?
I need some head. I need some dick.
yeah.
Like
You
that's how I'm
right.
feeling right now.
You
You know,
right.
like shit.
You right. You right. And people
I don't blame you.
people.
So y'all agree with like
always take
Amber
offense.
Rose's slut walk and all that?
I agree
Well,
with it.
her
she needs to change the
slut
name.
walk. No,
change
her
the name.
slut walk.
I
Believe it
agree
or
with
not,
it.
is empowering.
Yeah,
she
I
does
know,
it for
I
a reason.
believe that, but I think she still needs to change the name. I'm sorry.
I don't think she needs to change the name. Keep the name.
She's trying
Keep
to
the
do
name.
what we did with nigga.
yeah.
She's
Yeah,
trying to-
you know, and I think that's cool. I think
Not
that's
only that,
cool.
Well,
not only that,
man.
like I've dealt being a female, like I said, I've dealt with that throughout school, being called a slut. I've been called stupid
Yeah.
names like that for things that don't make
Exactly.
sense.
And it's like,
I don't
okay,
sit
what makes
there,
me that? Oh,
I don't sit
because
there.
You dress like this.
Exactly. I don't
Do
sit
you
there
know
and
the
go.
definition?
And even if
Girls that are
if
virgins that they call
Facts.
slut.
exactly, exactly,
Oh, because you're a stripper,
exactly,
because you
Yeah.
dance, you're a
Yeah.
hoe. That don't make no sense.
exactly. But
That
you
don't
don't
make no
you don't sit here and go calling guys, oh, you a hoe.
Nah.
And they don't. I mean, guys don't take offense
let
to
me tell
it,
you this much,
y'all.
though. It's changing. Guys are getting
Yeah.
called hoes a lot now.
Yeah.
Niggas is getting judged out
I mean,
here.
y'all
It's hard to
are.
change. It's getting there.
Yeah, it is.
Niggas is getting judged
It
out
is.
here. I'm telling you. All right. There's dudes out here I know, friends I got, that females will not fuck with them because they think he's a
It's
hoe, or
changing.
you fuck with too many females that I
Yeah.
know or heard of, and they don't.
You talk
shit is
too much.
changing.
I mean, what I
It's
say
Because
getting
it
there,
shouldn't-
yo. I'm telling you, these
because-
females is like, nah. I ain't
It's
fucking
because
with
of the
you.
women, and like you said,
You're
because of the
right.
women. And what I say all of the time is that women do not actually understand how much power they have.
Facts.
If they understood that they actually were gods and they make the world spin,
Y'all can't live without
That's
us.
why-
Point blank. Period.
That's why women need fathers like that to tell them that, because women don't know that.
they don't know. They don't know. It took
But
me
then- but
about
then-
30 years to come to this.
Also, at the same time, guys don't really know that
Guys,
either.
yeah, I was about to
Guys
say,
don't
I'm
really
glad
know
you
that
said that. I was
either.
just about to say, I didn't know that. Guys don't
Guys
know that
don't
either.
really know that either. So how are they gonna treat a woman as such if they don't really
That's true.
fully
My mother taught
know
me to treat a
something?
woman right, but still, like, I was never told, like he said, like to tell a woman she's a god, like you're beyond that. Not
I was-
even
I
that
was
you need
raised
to be
by
treated
women.
right. You need to be you need to be
Yeah.
acting a certain way, and you know what I'm saying. Like it's deeper than that. You know, like I never
A lot
thought
of-
about that.
of
'Cause I was taught
course.
to treat women right, and I did. But I was
Women-
still a dog.
women
You know what I
influence
mean? I was a
everything.
nice guy that cheated
Yo.
a lot.
At
you
the
know,
end of the
honestly.
day, end of the day,
why are all these kids drug dealers? Why are these kids wearing all these expensive ass clothes that they can't afford? Why do men
hear what they see.
why do men even go out of their way to buy these cars and houses and jewelry? It's to impress
people.
women, not
Yeah.
people.
Women, facts.
It's to
women.
impress women.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
women.
Whatever
Women,
We're
women
doing it for men.
And you know what's
Exactly.
funny? Women
Some of
wear
us aren't.
makeup and all these expensive dresses and stuff to impress women.
other women.
Yeah.
They don't impress. Men don't care
They,
about
they
makeup.
dress up.
Oh, I didn't even
To
think of
impress
that.
Women do that
other
to
women.
impress other women.
That's what I'm saying. Once they understand,
I do it to
how
look
much
good for
power they
myself.
Wow, I
I
didn't
do
even
it-
think about it. That so it's both
But-
ways.
but-
So
but-
it's
I do
like,
it good to look good for
you
myself.
But you also want to look good for other women. Come on now. You just said
As
you
a
was like, you're
lesbian,
openly
I mean,
gay.
yeah.
Obviously, you want to look good for other women.
Yeah. Even
I mean,
Even
y'all
regardless, even
could-
if you wasn't.
yeah, even if he
Women
wasn't.
know
I don't
each
do
other's
it.
makeup. They know each other's purses, their shoes. Men don't, you know what
I
I'm saying?
don't-
Men
Yeah.
don't do.
I don't
No man is
okay.
running up on a woman and be like, "Yo, I love your eyeliner."
I don't necessarily
Not
do.
doing that.
I don't do it for other
Some
women.
men.
Yes, okay, I'm
men
gay.
do
I'm
that.
It's
open.
like, yo, I've done that before.
No, not me, not me.
Just saying,
There's
yo.
some gay guys
Give
out
me my
there.
credit, yo.
Okay, so I don't. Yes, I'm openly gay. I don't do it for other women. You could ask her. When I meet people, you will meet me bare face. I have nothing on my face. I'm about the laziest person you could probably meet. The only reason I got makeup on today was because Aunt told me to come dress like if we were going to celebrate New Year's Eve. So I was like, all right, heard. Don't got to tell me twice. Other than that, I would have came completely bummy. I don't wear makeup for nobody. I wear it for myself. I like the way I look in it. I look good in it. I don't do it to impress nobody. If I wore makeup to impress anybody else, I'd be sitting at a computer. Yeah, I already figured. I'm dismissing it. I'm fucking
with you.
Either way, no, like,
hey, you're just fucking around.
If I was doing it to impress anybody, I'm not the best at makeup. I do my makeup, yeah, but I'm not friggin' Kylie Jenner with makeup shit. If I was
wear
to do
makeup because you want to impress other women specifically, my point is that women buy a lot of things, and most of the people that women are trying to impress are other women. Women don't really care to impress a man because for the most part, women will realize real fast that men like almost anything. Like women learn that young.
We're very basic.
I'm pretty sure every single one of y'all have gone to the store looking as busted as you feel you've ever looked, and a nigga still gonna holler at you.
No, most annoying thing ever.
Like, you know what I mean? So y'all will learn for the most part. Niggas don't really care. Like women for the most part would want to impress other women more than they care to impress a man. You know what I mean? They really do. They buy purses and shoes and clothes and other
women
things
influence the economy.
They
do all the spending.
Want to dress nice to impress women. That's the only reason a man wants to dress nice is to impress a woman, to show her, yo, I got fashion sense like a woman is supposed to. I can dress. I'm you know what I mean? I look good, and you know what I mean? They want to impress another woman.
So
why I wear cologne?
Women.
Because my whole life I was told women love it.
Women love it.
My wife loves that I wear certain clothes. You know why I wear it? To impress my wife, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So if Thanos was in real life and just snapped all the men out of this world, what would you women do?
Well, I ain't got to worry about y'all, man. So
she not worried about you. They not worried about y'all.
I'm happy because I'm in Girls in Wonderland. That's what it's happening at that point.
After 2 weeks,
the same.
And we
thing.
gone.
Listen, men and batteries are gone.
The same thing that happened. What they do in
batteries.
prison.
That's what hands are for.
It's just like what would happen if all the women left? Then you have to be like, okay, study an area where there's a high population of men and no women. What's going on there? Lots of homosexuality.
Prison is that
very open. Very
Yeah.
open, and like that's where I was really exposed to seeing men kiss and like hold hands openly.
Homosexuality in the G camps.
Yeah, people like there's gay dudes that commit crimes and they get sent to prison
I know
on
that
purpose.
much, but I'm saying
on purpose.
They go on purpose.
Not too many people come out when they're that young. A lot of guys in there are under 20.
They're like it was weird because a lot of the guys that were like that on the compound, when you see them at visitation with their mom, they got the deep voice on.
Oh, okay. So they was kind of
they switch it
up.
up.
They be themselves in there. That's crazy.
They be on some low key shit.
I have heard about that though. I've heard about.
But
a
you
couple
don't
dudes.
talk like that.
Yeah, I've heard about a couple of dudes that was in the streets heavy, and they. Was
I mean, the number one question I got when I first got out is people were just like, "Yo, did someone try to rape you, or did you ever get raped?"
Yeah,
I was
that.
like, no, it's not like that. There is a high population of homosexuals who are just waiting to get.
Yeah, they ready for it,
and it's just
oh no,
don't nobody got to take nothing. It's just.
My dad,
it's there for you. So.
My dad said some wild shit the other day. This was 8 years ago. I don't know. I took it as like a Dominican slang, but he said some wild ass shit. Like a man always, like I don't know. He used it. It sounded different in Spanish, but in English it sounds terrible. But it was just like a man always does like one man and like two girls. It was some weird shit. I looked at him. I was like, huh? And everybody in the group started laughing. And everybody in the group that was laughing all went to jail. And I'm the only one that never been to jail. So I'm just looking at them like, this ain't
what's
funny.
going on?
What are y'all talking about?
What you talking about? But I don't know, man.
Fred's Pops did 20 years, right?
Yeah.
That's
you
wild.
seen a lot. In 3 years that I seen a lot.
20.
A lot.
So I can imagine in 20. That's crazy.
Yeah,
When he came out, he was nuts though a little bit, man.
Yeah, I'm a little off.
Wow, and that's off the 3.
Do it to you, yeah.
I'm a little
He was off. He said he would wake up.
Yeah.
He would wake up and he would still be in his dream in prison.
Yep.
So when he wake
I literally dream, to this day, I still have dreams that I'm in solitary confinement.
Wow.
To this day. I only spent a week in solitary confinement.
Yeah.
And
dirty, huh?
because
yeah,
I still have dreams that I'm in
But a
solitary
week,
confinement.
that even
Friends
seems
I have,
excessive.
He did 8 years. I wrote him every week when he was in there, and since he been out, talked to him all the time, everything. And he told me when he was in the box, he almost killed himself.
That's the worst, man.
Yeah, like, he was
I
literally
only did
about
a
to kill
week.
himself. He
I
tried to
thought I
commit
was
suicide, like it was that
going
bad.
crazy,
Yeah.
man.
I got into one fight in high school. They sent me to juvie and they put me in the holding cell for like 3 hours. I couldn't take it. I was going
sucks. If
just
you're in there
off
for
of that
1
3
day,
hours.
1 hour,
He
yeah,
did
it
3
sucks.
years.
That shit
3
sucks,
hours.
bro. That shit sucks.
I was just like, no, get me out of here. Get me out
I
of
mean,
here.
you make the best of it, obviously, right? To get through.
You have to.
know what I mean?
That's
You
why I
have
read the
to.
Bible. I read the Bible twice in that week.
And it's
Cover to
amazing
cover.
that you're
Wow.
a good example of what the system should be, though.
Should be, because
You're a
I
person who went to prison,
Lancaster
you were
Corrections.
rehabilitated,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and you came out and grew
Yo.
from that. That's what the system should
Yo,
be.
when I got
Yeah.
out, they were like, the day I got out, and when I was walking out, all the COs that was giving me a real hard time, they were like instantly turned friendly, and they were just like,
Wanna see you do better.
yeah, they was like, yo, we did that to make sure
Oh,
we
wow.
mentally scarred you so that you wouldn't
Don't
want to
come
come
back,
back.
yeah.
It was like, we
Oh,
have the
wow.
lowest recidivism, if I'm saying that right, recidivism rate
To come
out
back.
of all of the prisons, Lancaster Corrections. It's like we do the best
Yeah.
job with
This
our
is
inmates.
this is in Pennsylvania.
no,
this is
it's in Florida near
Oh.
Gainesville,
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
in,
okay.
in a small city called Trenton.
Lancaster
Okay.
was,
Yeah,
I'm telling
ran
everybody
by
went
the
to
Ku Klux
Lancaster.
Klan.
Yeah,
I used to get my
Wow.
ass whooped every day. I tell everybody I used to get slapped every day.
By the
Every-
Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, by the COs.
The COs, yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
COs.
all these prisons in Florida are
He's
in
getting my
little
ass
country
whooped all the
towns.
time.
So the people that work in these prisons are little country
Yeah,
town.
that's
people.
the only thing they have in this
Yeah.
town
That's-
is the
yeah,
prison.
exactly. That's
they
like
go to
their-
they go to high school.
Yeah.
Everybody from high school works at the prison.
Oh
So
shit.
most of the people
That's all they got.
they work with, and it's like second generation, third
The
generation
COs, the cafeteria
COs,
people,
and
they're everything.
So wait a
there.
minute. So when you get out there acting friendly with these same guys acting friendly with you and they're saying this is the why we treated the way we
Yeah,
treated you.
yeah.
And this is like Ku Klux Klan type people.
yeah, they're like
That's
they'll
nuts.
tell you they're
Yo,
in the
I
Klan.
got
They'll
most
tell
of
you.
this sleeve done by a man who was a skinhead. And
What?
Yeah, skinheads are
Yeah.
are like really cool. I
That's
had some of the
crazy.
best conversations.
I had a great conversation
with
him.
skinheads.
I talked to him and I asked him straight up, "Are you racist?" And he said no. He said, "I'm a separatist."
Yeah.
He said, "I feel like everybody should be with their own people." You know
That's
what I'm
exactly
saying?
what they say. I'm like, oh, that's not so
yeah,
bad.
that's exactly what I
There's
said.
some people,
and I
there's
was
some
like,
black people who think like that.
Yeah.
That's what
There is.
everybody
Like,
thinks. He
yeah.
was like, and he literally said, he
exactly.
said, "What is so wrong with me
Preserving my race.
preserving my race? Not only preserving my race, but wanting my race to prosper."
Exactly. I'm like,
He
you
was
know what?
Don't you want your people to prosper?
There's
And I
nothing
do.
wrong with you. There's
Right?
nothing
Don't-
wrong with that.
Yeah, don't
Nothing
we
wrong
want our
with that.
people to prosper?
Put
If you
it
own
that
a
way,
business
yeah.
and the dude comes in there and he's white and applies, and then right after him a Dominican cat comes in, and they got the same qualifications, who you hiring? Keep it a buck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to see your people succeed,
Exactly,
and that's how he
yeah.
broke it down to me. And I was like, yo, I can't really refute that too much, bro.
Yeah, because it
And
makes
that's
sense.
exactly
He was
what they
yeah.
all
cool. I
say.
went to the bar with this man.
Yeah.
He met my wife.
I
He's
don't know.
met my
I wouldn't be like
mother-in-law.
hanging out with him.
No, I went. We went out to the bar. And that's where we had the conversation. We went out to the bar.
You wildin'.
Yeah, nah, for real. I'm serious. We went out. And,
You took it too far.
nah, listen. We went out to the bar. Me, him, my wife, and then my mother-in-law had showed up because I was chopping it up with him after class. Because I met him in AC school. We were both going to get our license for that. And we went and we chopped it up. And the thing was, he was just cool. I didn't know he had skinhead tattooed on his stomach, but he had lightning bolts.
Yeah, the lightning
tattooed
bolts. I was
right
just about to
here.
say you got to look out for the lightning
So
bolts.
when I saw the lightning bolts,
Put in
I
some
already
work.
knew. So when we went out to have a drink, I asked him about the lightning bolts, and I asked him if he was a racist, and he said no. He said, "I'm a separatist." He did 8 years in prison.
I was about to say, ask him how
Yeah.
he got them lightning bolts.
No,
what
he
had
did.
to,
He did
what he had
8
to do
years
to a
in-
black
he-
man to get those lightning bolts.
He did 8 years in prison for beating a black dude with a hammer.
I was about to say, you got to do something
Yeah, no
crazy
bullshit.
to a black
yeah,
man.
he
You
beat a
gotta
black dude
earn
with a
those
hammer
lightning
and
bolts.
did 8 years in prison for it.
See, I get that, but then it contradicts itself. Contradicts
Exactly.
when they do shit like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
But from what he told me, it had nothing to do with becoming a skinhead and getting and earning his bolts. He said that happened. That situation was separate. You know what I'm saying? It just
The
happened.
contradicting part was
No,
separate.
honestly, I feel like it comes back down to the woman. It comes at even when we were being mistreated as slaves and they were castrating us, it was jealousy. So it's just like, and when the master's wives and daughters was sleeping with us and preferred it, they felt away and they would treat us a certain way.
Oh, facts. That's well documented that they said black people were like over sexualized, right? Like they were too sexual deviant.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Even to this day.
That's bullshit. And they would say that all because a black woman was thick as fuck.
Yeah.
And they was horny looking at her. And they would say, oh, that's her fault.
Exactly.
These sexual women.
They do that in the church.
Like, they made me
do
feel
that in
that
the
way.
church too, but
Yeah.
that's a separate conversation. I don't want to. They really do that in the church. They make a woman feel bad for what she decides to
No,
wear.
we do that in this world.
Why
we do that
why
to
are
this
these,
day.
why are these pastors and these deacons looking at this little girl that's quote unquote developing?
They
Like,
do that
you know
to
what I'm
you.
saying?
They
Like,
do
come
that
on.
to you even growing up. If you think about it, the school system had a school dress code.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't wear a certain amount of like finger tank
Yeah,
top
yeah,
for
yeah.
females because that would provoke guys to start thinking some side of way.
And like the Islam, when the women have to wear the some.
You know, I actually read in the Bible
Thing.
it says that women in the Bible it says women are supposed to wear covered.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's in the Bible.
Because
Swear to God, I read
you
that shit.
can't control yourself so much. Like
Exactly.
you have you don't have
Exactly.
any self control.
Exactly.
Like that's what that tells me. That it's just a whole
The
society
funny part,
ran by people
the
who
funny
have
part
no
that you
discipline.
say that though, that's even in the Bible is crazy because I mean, you think about it. Damn, I'm gonna be honest. I lost my train of thought. Continue. It just
the
went.
Bible
shoo.
says you're supposed to wear a head cover. And
Yeah.
you're supposed to like a lot of certain type of Christians wear long skirts.
The what?
You know what I'm saying?
Catholic women have to go covered with
The nuns.
Yeah, nuns.
That's crazy.
like regular people that would go to
It's
church,
funny how
that's
people
Yeah.
look at nuns though, like it's okay, but then they look at a Muslim girl rap with her head
Yeah.
up. the same way.
Exactly, and it's the same thing.
It's blind spotting. You
Yo,
know
I
what I'm
seen
saying?
It's the
I
same
seen
thing.
a woman with a head wrap, a Louis head wrap the other day.
That's
Yo, I
crazy.
was so
That's
hyped
cool.
when I seen that. I
That's-
was
that's
like, yo,
pretty
she's
cool.
lit, bro. She was young too.
That's pretty
She was
cool.
probably college, like a younger chick, but she had a Louis head wrap, bro. I was like,
Hey.
that's dope as
That's
fuck.
pretty cool.
That shit was fire.
Guys, we're doing the Titanic movie of podcasts.
Oh my
right
god, yo, we got to get out of here. Let's get it.
We did
This was great, though.
3 hours and 16 minutes.
Yo, this is for the New Year's, for the people reaching
We did a
goals,
whole
you know what I'm
movie for
saying? That's
y'all.
what we here doing.
A
We
whole
just people
movie.
trying to reach goals. We're trying to learn new things. You know what I mean? Shout out to Travon for coming through, bro.
I appreciate you
Much
for having me
appreciated,
today.
man.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thanks
time.
for all,
Appreciate
thanks
your
for all the
time, bro.
information.
For real.
All
Great
the
information,
we
great
got
insight.
we got a lot more out of you than I thought we
Yeah,
would.
nah,
bro.
we got a lot, man. I'm glad. This is why I
Very
invited him here, man, 'cause
informative,
I knew
yeah.
we'd get this type of content.
For sure.
I appreciate
Yo,
it.
tell the
man.
people
Thank
where we
you.
can find you. Too.
Yeah, give them your social media, everything.
Instagram at Travon Travon the THE creator CREATOR.
There you
So
go.
yeah,
Travon the creator on
Yeah.
Instagram.
On Instagram,
You got Twitter?
Say it one more time for the slow people.
Yeah, Travon the creator, TRAVON the creator, all together, and it's Tati bruh. If you want to follow,
Yeah, shout out
yeah,
to Tati.
Yeah, it's Tati bruh. ITS.
And then the businesses?
YBRUH. It's Tati bruh, and vegan takeout. Vegan_takeout, and then you can see everything that we upload, the pictures of the different veganized, because what we try to do is try to veganize everyone's favorite fast food, because we're trying to be the vegan fast food spot for
That's
you.
what
Hey,
what
that's
you need.
dope.
Yeah, that's what they need is vegan fast food out here because they don't have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, bet. So yeah, follow
Sure.
him, follow us, PRG 950. Yo, for the new year though, I really do want to get in shape, so
Yo,
I'm glad
for
he
sure.
was here.
When you see us
Sure.
next
You know
time,
what I'm
this time
saying?
next year,
Yeah, bet.
I want to be in the Black Panther 2 movie. I don't know about you, son. I want to replace Michael B. Jordan.
Fred, what you trying to do for
Yo.
2019 though, real quick before we get out of here, bro?
2019,
What's your goal, bro?
goal is just get my body right, get my mind right. First
Yeah,
off,
I'm glad you said it because for me, 2019 more so is I want to get my mental health in order. I
Yeah,
really do want to
facts.
start making sure that my
Facts.
mind is right because I don't
Yeah.
feel like my mind is all the way
Facts.
right. You know what I mean? I feel like I do need to work on things mentally, man. So I
Mhm.
want to do that for 2019 and make sure that my mind is in the right place, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. Just like we work out our bodies and
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying,
Right.
we eat
Work
right,
out our mind.
gotta
Right.
work out that mind, man.
Yeah,
That's a
for sure.
big deal
That's
for
true.
2019.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's something I definitely
So
wanna
more
do, too.
more reading for 2019.
Facts, more reading books or listening to
More
books.
positive
Audible. Yeah,
energy.
more positive energy, being positive towards each other, man. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And encouraging
Positive
each other.
vibes only.
Drink
Yeah.
All
water.
2019.
Drink more water.
spring water.
Eat
Drink
more
that
kale.
spring water, yo. Drink that spring water. Eat your vegetables like your parents told you. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But But yeah, this was a good episode, man.
Yes, sir. This is a 950 ENT Radio
Yay,
PRG Podcast.
PRG Podcast. We got Happy New Year's to everybody, yo. It was a good year. 2018, 2019, we coming harder, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, we out.
How you pop this
Sound like
thing?
drink champs and shit.
Said she killing for the summer, usually saving, but she turned into a villain for the summer. I ain't tripping, hashtag live your best life. Saving the cake all summer, I need the next slice. My passport tatted, catch the next flight. On the wake up, turkey bacon with egg whites. Champagne to get your hair right, and if the hair right, I'll be there every night. If you with it though, no hashtag me too's. Say your heart cold, baby me too. I ain't trying to buy your heart, but I could lease boo. Life short, patience even shorter. From the east, but she fucking up Florida. They playing the shit, so she zoned out. Before a part come on, she pull her phone out. Step back, gunshots to the camera. Ex-lady calling, but she don't never answer. And right now, it's mimosas and middle fingers. Followed by a toast to living single. Killer summer, only thing that's on the
All of these
nigga.
flavors in here. How a man get so lucky. All of these flavors in here. All up in your ear, but you don't hear nothing. All of these flavors in here. She ain't worried about a man, she just worried about the money. All of these flavors in here. It's a man's world, but nothing will try to run it.
It's no sympathy for those, so hold them apologies. She gave me the knowledge like good colleges. I'm on this astrology kush while I push through this party of pussy. Talking to shorty, just hoping she understood. If quality good, then mama make me a part of it. Follow me, host early parliament. Christopher Columbus, I took over this shit properly. Groupies raising happy, they all deep for the prodigy. I am just obviously conscious of what I do, how to be. Optimus Prime in this game, and just secret technology. Mama just promised me all of your body, please. So let's treat today like it's a holiday.
All of these flavors in here. How a man get so lucky. All of these flavors in here. All up in your ear, but you don't hear nothing. All of these flavors in here. She ain't worried about a man, she just worried about the money. All of these flavors in here. It's a man's world, but nothing without a woman.